Welcome back for our final segment on this week's edition of Inside Tiger Football, brought to you by Rib Crib, here with head coach Josh Blankenship. Chance to look at Owasso now for what is a big game this season. Message to your team, of course, not through the bye week, but into game week now against a team like Owasso. What have you seen maybe on film as well, where that message is sort of molded from that?
The message is that it's going to be a 12-round fight, and we need to be prepared for that. Not only physically, giving that kind of effort for 4 quarters plus, whatever it takes, but the mental focus, for 4 quarters plus. So preparing them for an absolute war of a game. It's another great opportunity, another test. But then the emphasis of district play and how important that is with that approach of going 1-0 every week. On film, we're very familiar with these, schools that are close to us. We see them all the time. So we know who they are. We know, we're very familiar with their schemes and what they do, and they are with us as well. So there's nothing really surprising. It's, I think I've mentioned before, I think their team's like a year ahead of us as far as experience. They did what we did last year, they did 2 years ago in playing, biting the bullet and playing a bunch of young, talented kids. And now they're all veterans, and they're huge and fast and super talented, but they've got a lot of game experience under their belt. So it's going to be a great test. Our kids are excited about it. Our coaches are excited about it. And we got to go over to another, it's the Patriot Bowl, but it's still over at their place this year. So it's another hostile environment.
Looking at their offensive line as well as their offense as a whole, Owasso, they've got a couple of guys, I believe, in the offensive line. One committed to Arkansas, the other OSU.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a big front for sure, but also looking at Frankenfield, quarterbacking Sling It as well. What's that approach from your defense this week as far as you want to play your game, your identity, but at the same time, what's unique about Owasso that you're going to have to keep an eye on?
Exactly what you said. They're huge on the front. They might have the best O-line, arguably in the state. I would argue they're, at least on paper, they're the most talented team across the board. Offense, defense. They're big up front on the defensive line. They've got really fast linebackers and DBs. On offense, they're ginormous on the offensive front with some really talented running backs, talented young quarterback, and then exceptional speed at receiver. We've got to get better still at what we do. What we believe what we do stops what offenses do. So it's a matter of execution and doing those things for the entirety of a game, and then taking advantage of opportunities when you have those opportunities to make a big play, to make those big plays.
Taking advantage of opportunities early. We talked earlier in the show about how the third quarter against Mustang, that was sort of that opportunity maybe to try to run away with that football game, but on the road again against Owasso early in the game, that emphasis to have the offense clicking quickly. What would you like to see out of your offense early in this ball game in particular?
Yeah.
Just from a mental side as well as just maybe execution here is you don't want to get down early against Owasso, of course.
No, but it's a long game. So, yeah, you want to start fast, and we always emphasize that. We want to be great on first down. If you're great on first down, you're upping your chances of being great on third down. So there's no different emphasis. It's the same. I think we've been executing at a pretty high level on offense. Now you got to do it against a very stout and talented defense. So you're just upping the challenge, and so you want your focus and your effort and your preparation to match the level of the challenge.
Looking at the Patriot Bowl, if you had to sort of, give a message to a fan that maybe hasn't experienced it yet, what's this rivalry like from your perspective? Of course, it's been games that have been blowouts for one side or the other. There's been games that have been close as well, and we go back, it's been a bit since Broken Arrow's been able to take down a team like Owasso, and for those showing up on the road, the environment's going to be great. What's this rivalry like to you?
Well, usually it's non-district, so it's always been fun. They're neighbors, in the sense of the communities are pretty close. So even the visitors are going to pack out the visitor side, whoever's hosting it doesn't really matter. Both bands will be there; they'll be loud. There's a flyover. There's a lot of halftime ceremonies and events scheduled. So it's a big production. There's a lot going on, but the rivalries are what they are because the kids all know each other, and there's probably kids that have swapped schools at some point. So they're very familiar with each other. And I expect a really good game, and I'm excited about the opportunity, mainly because our kids are.
Final thoughts here on the campaign so far, and a chance to get back out onto the field, a chance to get rolling again here is, this is the bye week, but, you don't get those anymore. It's on to the next one in districts here.
We've got to focus on going 1-0. We've taught the kids and gone over how district play works, the point system, how important the seeding is for the playoffs, how that impacts playing at home or a bye, and I think our kids have a good grasp of that. And then ultimately the goal in district play is to get the highest seed possible, getting into the tournament, the playoffs, and then make sure we're playing our best football at the end of the regular season.
Head coach Josh Blankenship, thanks as always for coming on and being a part of the show. This has been an edition of Inside Tiger Football brought to you by Rib Crib. Game against Owasso this Friday. Make sure you tune in on ArrowVision. Just go to arrowvision.tv. We'll see you next time. Live from the high school campus of Owasso, it is the Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl. We bring you tonight's action on ArrowVision. Broken Arrow Tigers football. We are ready. It is Luke Hamilton alongside me, of course, Mo Wallace later on. Madison Dildine on the sideline, and tonight is a night everybody circles on their calendar. I know you do certainly. Well, it's my first Patriot Bowl. I'm going to throw it right over to you, Mo. What is this night all about, and what makes it special, whether it's on the campus of BA or on the campus of Owasso? Tonight is a night you can just feel it in the building for sure.
Well, this is obviously the first time I think I can remember this Patriot Bowl being for a district game. It means a lot. I know Josh's father, Bill, was here for a while, and I think they made it a big deal. So this is something, me being a BA guy, my grandfather living here, it's a big deal, North Side versus South Side, Tulsa County.
Without a doubt, tonight's matchup is important. A 1-2 record for the Broken Arrow Tigers, a 3-0 perfect Owasso team. That's going to be the matchup that we see. And one last point here going in, Mo, a chance to, defeat the undefeated.
Well, shock the state. The way I look at it, you got to shock the state tonight, and you have a shot to do it if your special teams play well tonight.
We'll send it down to the Broken Arrow Band to get the night kicked off. Here we go.
Hey Tiger fans, I'm Madison Dillman with ArrowVision, and we're standing outside of the Big Biscuit Broken Arrow located at Lynn Lane and the Broken Arrow Expressway to bring you this week's edition of the Big Biscuit Blitz, where the ArrowVision crew breaks down tonight's game in 60 seconds. Let's check it out.
Hey Tiger fans, welcome into this edition of the Big Biscuit Blitz where we break down this week's matchup. It is the Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl, Owasso on the road. Can't get more exciting than this early in the year. What does this team got to do on both sides of the ball?
It's the big district game of the year right here for us so far. Contain number 7 and 14 on defense. Don't allow them to get loose in the open field. Also, I think special teams will be a big factor this week. Kickoff and kickoff return have to do their jobs to put our offense and defense in a position to be successful. And obviously on offense, I think we have the ability to keep up with them offensively and scoring points. But if we do that, we should be successful.
Everybody's circling this one on the calendar. 7:30 on ArrowVision. It is the Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl presented by Jim Glover Auto Family. Big Biscuit has presented us with a big biscuit again. Let's dig in.
Let's go take a nap after this.
Beautiful performance by the Broken Arrow Band, as we saw, in beautiful dishes of breakfast in front of us, the Big Biscuit. Mo, that was the most fun part of our week, as it always is. You're watching, of course, Broken Arrow football on ArrowVision. Tonight is a beautiful night. 1 for football, but 2 for this game in particular. Owasso and Broken Arrow, the Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl. We talked a little bit about, before we went down to break, what this game means for both teams. Let's look at both sides of the ball. Keys for tonight against an undefeated team.
Once again, I'm going to put it on the special teams. I'm also going to put it on offense and defensive line. Broken Arrow, obviously, we have at the offensive defensive line, but Owasso is pretty special right now from the first 3 games that I've seen on film on offense and defensive line. So if we can find some cracks and some seams inside their offensive line from our defensive line standpoint, but also keep their defensive line away from our quarterback and keep them controlled up front, we should be all right also.
The Rams are a versatile team. They showed a couple of different sets against Sand Springs that maybe they showed on offense against Jinx. What are you seeing maybe in the mix? It's early in the year, but finding an identity to take down Owasso seems to be difficult right now. I think that's why the focus is just going to be playing on Broken Arrow defense.
Well, I mean, they're very versatile the way I look at it. They have a lot of special guys on the outside. They have a special tailback. And their quarterback, I mean, he's not bad himself, but a lot of skill positions the way I look at it, and we just have to be able to contain those guys.
Looking at the bye week, it was a chance to take a deep breath for everybody in the program, an opportunity to reset. Head coach Josh Blankenship talked about how I think the bye week came at the right time here at this point. You want to keep playing early in the season. You don't want that bye week after 1 game by any means, but you get a chance to get healthy and rested for a game like this. So you can't ask much more out of your schedule than to get Owasso right out of the gate too.
Well, the way I look at it also, the varsity schedule in the state of Oklahoma, especially at the 6A level, you break it down to 3 seasons. Your non-district plays your first season, your district plays your second season, and obviously the playoffs is your 3rd season, the most important part of the year. Also, the way I look at it is that bye week came at a perfect time and allowed us to regroup, reset, get some team bonding going on, allow our guys to fill some holes where we need to fill some holes, and get healthy. I mean, that's important going into district play, is being as healthy as possible.
1 road game already having been played. That was on the road against Mustang. A tough environment to play in. Mustang, I think, showed that. The entire community came out for that game. An overtime loss, going for 2 in overtime. Not a bad choice. I would say even in hindsight, you want to get the win right there. Just came up a bit short. I'm sure players like Jeremiah Satemba, the quarterback of this team, learned a lot from losing that ball game, just as much as he would learn from winning that ball game. And those are moments where you're ready and itching to get back out onto the field. I think a loss like that makes it frustrating for the players to go into a bye week.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I mean, it keeps you hungry. I mean, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. I think a lot of student athletes understand you want to try to get that out as quick as possible playing week to week. But the bye week, I mean, you got to stew on that all week long for about 10 to 14 days. But I think they're eager enough to come out here and try to take care of business against these Owasso Rams.
Doing a lot of things right on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively as well. But it was a dogfight, and it was an offensive game at the end of the day against Mustang. Not having Octavian Roberson for the first 3 quarters due to that suspension is going to affect this team. But hey, we talked about, especially on Inside Tiger Football this week, the depth at running back is something that's benefits right now this Broken Arrow roster. And I think Caden Lawless is a guy that can step up to the task along with Castillo.
Well, Castillo, Caden Lawless, and obviously still they'll give the freshman kid, Corey Sango, some carries tonight also. That's one thing I think people have to understand is that we are very deep at running back, even though we see Octavian, we see Castillo, we see Lawless, but that room is very deep and talented. And I think we have the guys to fill that void until he comes in the fourth quarter, hopefully with fresh legs and the game close.
You said it. It is now a district game against Owasso. This Patriot Bowl means a lot more than it ever could have, and that's saying a lot with what this game means for sure. It's been a while since Broken Arrow has been able to down the Rams of Owasso. 2018 was the last time that was done. That was, of course, the state championship season. We look right above our heads, 2017 and 2019, sandwiching that is state championships for Owasso. This has been the area in the state that has dominated the last half decade, if not more, closing in on a decade now. This game, everybody's got their eyes on.
Everybody has their eyes on it across the state of Oklahoma. I mean, it's number one Rams versus the Broken Arrow Tigers. I mean, you want to come in here, you want to slay the dog tonight. The way I look at it is this. I mean, get your lightsabers out, Owasso, because we're ready to come at you tonight.
Without a doubt. Looking at the offensive side of the game for Owasso, it sets up a unique challenge for the defense. One, Frankenfield is a quality quarterback. Does he have some things on film that might be able to, well, be exploited tonight? Absolutely. I think this defense flies a lot. Throw the ball underneath your receiver a bit. Guys like Messiah Owens, who stepped up big time last week, are going to make you pay.
Well, and he's a young quarterback. The way I look at it is, I mean, he's a sophomore. Obviously, we seen him a couple years ago at the freshman level, but he's an exciting guy to look at. But also this, I mean, you throw a couple blitzes here, you throw some disguises in the secondary, you can get him out of his game. He's young, get him rattled if you can hit him a couple times, make him phone the ball. But I think defensive line has to get pressure on him, and they have to hit him quite often.
When you have two offensive linemen over 300 pounds, which Owasso does, I really don't think that there's a better defensive front than what Broken Arrow has to attack this team right now. 3-0. This is going to be one of the more difficult tasks they have to deal with up front. This defensive line for the Tigers and what Coach Hawley has done with the different schemes and packages attacking from the outside. It's going to be a fun night because of that.
Well, and yes, you got to be quick up front also. I feel we got the guys that are quick up front to take their big guys gap-wise away. But also linebacker play also. I mean, Cole Lamont, his boys, they got to be able to tackle well tonight and keep things condensed all up front. But secondary-wise, if Frankenfield can't get loose and he can't get the ball deep, we got to be able to pick the passes off. We got to be able to make plays.
The Tulsa market fills up a lot of your schedule, but not maybe all of it. Owasso has seen nothing but Tulsa market so far. Bixby, Jenks, Sand Springs, now Broken Arrow. What is it like to have a gauntlet like that for a team that even is the top dog to try to take down? I mean, they've had a difficult task, but they've proven that they're not just a 3-0 team. They're a team that's difficult to mess with, and I think Broken Arrow has a chip on their shoulder coming into this game that they are chomping at the bit to get to this game.
They're chomping at the bit, but also you have that schedule to prepare you for a district like this.
No doubt,
I mean, you're in a district not only with us, but you're in a district with Edmond, Santa Fe, and Union, so you want to have that non-district schedule. And if you go 3-0, I mean, you can compete with the guys in your district to possibly win and to get that first-round bye.
Getting a bye week allows everybody to heal up. Look, we hear about some bumps and bruises, but not every single bump and bruise. This is the prime night to come into a building like this and do a nice night. It's cooling off. It's going to be in the mid-70s by the time we kick off tonight. The wide receiver core, I think, is underappreciated at the high school level for having the last 4 quarters. These guys have had a chance to take a deep breath and rest, and I expect a lot out of this wide receiver core for Broken Arrow tonight.
Yeah, with your skill guys, I mean, Tayshawn, you have DJ, you have Keenan. Obviously, Garcia is starting to show things, and the super sophomore and Zane. Zane, to me, is the kink in the armor. Not the kink in the armor, but he's the one that keeps the armor together. We get him the ball, it opens things up, and I think we continue to look at Zane to open things up, to get Tayshawn out big, to get Keaton his touches also, and also let Deshaun do his work with the screen work that they would do with the now game with Deshaun.
Wanted to highlight a couple of our interviews this week from Inside Tiger Football. We talked to Keaton Johnson as well as Colby Crosby. Those two guys on both sides of the ball, instrumental for this group. I thought Keaton Johnson was a big part of the early success, the very early success. In fact, the first 3 touches for this team, and Colby Crosby on the other side. Quick word on both of them.
Well, Colby Crosby, obviously, he's come along in the summer, but Keaton Johnson, like I said, that's the guy that has to get the wheels going as a possession receiver to get this offense to where we need to be tonight.
We'll send it down as the Owasso band enters the scene. We'll give them the spotlight and the stage, and we'll be back as kickoff is soon.
Now come on, Rams, get on your feet. It's time for Owasso Ram football. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the tradition of raising your right hand and pointing to the sky. We invite you to sing along as the Pride of Owasso presents the Owasso High School alma mater. Fans, as a tribute to our great nation and those who defend liberty, we invite anyone who has served in the United States Armed Forces to please stand at this time. We also invite our firefighters, police, and first responders to stand. The Pride of Owasso salutes our community heroes with the performance of our national march, the Stars and Stripes Forever. Fans, please direct your attention to the field where the captains for today's game are meeting with the game officials for tonight's coin toss.
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger Football on ArrowVision. We are moments away from coin toss this evening to decide the fate of our opening kickoff in the Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl. We'll send it down to Madison, who will have that coverage for our coin toss.
During Operation Iraqi Freedom, for his service, he was awarded several honors, including the Army Commendation Medal, Global War on Terrorism, and the Overseas Service Ribbon.
We've already done it, so we'll go ahead and do this one.
It's a big lie, isn't it, boys? You ready? Here we go. That's a positive.
They all for show one here.
Children's Fund Scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming.
Before we go do this, hey.
Sacrifice of Staff Sergeant Alvaro Hernandez.
Before we show them what we did, guys, hey. You guys are the captains for a reason, all right? Take care of your teams, and we'll stay out of your way and let you play tonight, okay? Yep. Any questions? Okay, Owasso, you won the toss. Come over here with me. You guys face him over here.
So Owasso wins the toss. We'll see who they become in just a moment. It looks like Owasso will elect to receive to open up the game. So getting an opportunity to get the ball at half will be the Broken Arrow Tigers. I think you'd like to see that. You lose a coin toss, but they don't defer to the second half.
No, they don't. I mean, but I like it. I like it myself also. Let's get these guys out here. First district game. I mean, this is what it's about on a Friday night here at the end of September on a nice fall night. So let's get this all black going.
Well, you said it as well. All red uniforms for the Owasso Rams, all black uniforms for the BA Tigers tonight, and I love color on color when it comes to those jerseys like that, and you get that here this evening for sure. The Folds of Honor Patriot Bowl, it's my first experience with it. You've been a part of it. In fact, you were telling us a story on the way up here about how you gave this building and in this stadium a little bit of an introduction.
Oh, yeah. You know, whenever I was a kid, we were a junior, and we opened up this stadium and beat the brakes off of the Rams, so hopefully we can get it done tonight.
56-0, the first ever game in this stadium, and that was the Tigers downing these Rams. So maybe a little bit of a throwback is the hope here this evening for things at the end of the day. BA, they're about to come out here. Your thoughts going into the bye week as to what this team was, the Tigers, but then also maybe your thoughts on this team coming out of the bye week, heading into what is now game number 4 of the year.
Well, I think once we know, we figure out our identity in the bye week. We fix some things, we plug some holes, whatever we got to do. But I think we know who we are. We got to go out there. We got to take care of business. And obviously, like I've always said, I mean, defense has to play the game the right way, and we have to tackle well out there, and we have to contain what we have to contain as far as their threats out there. Offensively, continue to be who we are. Just continue to be who we are. Hand the football off, make some passes, get the guys out there to make some touchdowns and get some yardage. But we know we can play with them offensively. I think we can put up the same amount of points they can put up. But defensively, we have to control what they do and keep the ball in front of us and have fun.
Well, you get a chance to set the tone offensively. That's the nice thing. The first few plays always scripted. Anywhere from 10 to 15 plays can be scripted based on that. So we'll get a chance to see that offense right out of the gate. It's going to be fun. We'll take a quick break. When we do come back, it will be National Anthem. And, yes, we'll have kickoff around the corner. You're watching Tiger Football on ArrowVision. We'll be back.
Captain Lucas Shearer, and Fire Marshal Johnny Peterson. We ask that you please remain standing until the colors have been retired.
This is the main event of the evening. We are live at Tiger Field in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. And now, 4 quarters of Broken Arrow Tiger football. It's time!
Welcome back to Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision. As the clock ticks up, the sun ticks downward. Now we see the scene and the lighting and the atmosphere we will get for kickoff in just a moment. It is a big one. It is the Patriot Bowl, and it is Owasso and Broken Arrow in a game that I think everybody on the outside looking in is circling as well. I think Broken Arrow, unfortunately, in a game like this, everybody feels like little brother to Owasso, but I think this is little brother finally hitting that stage where he can beat up big brother here right now.
Well, you got to take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, to me, you got a prime opportunity to shock the state tonight, and you do it on somebody else's turf tonight. I mean, I think this is a great matchup. I think we match up well. We just have to execute our game plan tonight and getting the ball first. I know Blank and his staff will try to fill out what Owasso does defensively, but ironically enough, you know, defensive coordinator Jock Washington versus Josh Blankenship as the OC and obviously the head coach calling plays. So we'll see what they can do against each other.
Broken Arrow looks across the field. They see the Rams entering the stage as they wait for their opportunity. Second road game of the year. First big road test in district, as this is the district opener. Nothing like the district opener, right?
Oh, nothing like the district opener. It gives you a chance to set the stage, and if you go 1-0 in the district, you're in the driver's seat to get a top two spot in the district and get a first round playoff bye.
First round playoff bye, important for everybody. It's like another bye week. Literally it is, and it gives you a chance when you're beat up at the end of the year to take a deep breath, right? It's got to be from play number one. For those that maybe missed the beginning of our broadcast, it will be the Owasso Rams with the ball to start. They won the toss. They elected to receive to open it up. You get a chance to get your defense on the field to set the tone, and I think that's underrated for a team like Broken Arrow that has had an improved defense already from last year.
Well, regardless if it's 3 and out or if it's 5, 6 plays and out, just stopping them from getting any type of points, whether it's 3 points or whether it's a touchdown, you want to stop their momentum. You don't want them to do what they do best, and that's score points.
Here comes the Tigers. They make themselves known tonight on the campus of Owasso High School. They'll enter the scene and they will head to the sideline, and we'll take it to our starting lineups on ArrowVision.
I got your back! I got your back! I got your back!
The jungle, where the Tigers call home, known for their strength, power, and size. Born to hunt, born to protect, born to conquer. Ruler of their territory, a predator, untamable, the alpha.
We are almost ready for kickoff. The defense will get their first look. You're watching Tiger football on ArrowVision, and just like Oklahoma's defense really goes as far as a guy like Danny Stutzman goes, I think this BA defense goes as far as Cole Lamont goes. He's been dominant up the middle, leads the team in tackles, and does about as good of a job as it gets.
Well, he's the leader of your defense. The way he goes is the way he goes. I mean, he had, I think, 18 tackles the last game, 18 tackles himself. 12 of them, he wasn't blitzing. So we'll see what he does and how he leads this defense tonight. He has to be vocal, but he has to show emotion and get these guys right tonight.
Wide receiver Noah Hill back to return, as well as Takari Bethel, who was a Oklahoma Player of the Week 3 weeks ago with 3 touchdowns in the opener.
And on this one, Luke, our guys have to sit there and fly down the field, squeeze, and keep these guys from
The opening kickoff was brought back for a touchdown against Sand Springs last week for Owasso. Not going to be the same fate. In fact, barely past the 20 at the 21-yard lines where the drive will start. And here's that Tiger defense to enter stage left.
Well, that's important right there. I mean, I said it in the preview show. I think our special teams have to do their job tonight, and that's at the 18-yard line. So apparently, we're going to make Owasso drop the field tonight.
Just about 3 yards as well to adjust that spot at the 18-yard line. 11:52 on the clock as we get rolling in quarter number 1 tonight.
Looks like we got Tayshawn starting at the safety spot also, which is a big deal for us tonight also.
Secondary pressed in. The box will be filled. It is a screen pass out wide, near side. A little bit off balance here. Takari will find his way on ahead. Mr. Bethel will pick up a handful.
And that's what they're going to try to do to us. A lot of teams try to do that. Obviously, we've seen that a lot the first 3 games is the now stuff, which are quick screens, try to get on the edge on us, but we did a great job of minimal yardage on that play.
Drew Frankenfield, he's a 6'1", 180-pound quarterback. He's just a sophomore, so chance to still grow, but also chance to put pressure on him in his first home district game and force a turnover early if you can. Pitch
Pop
on
pass.
The jet sweep, a little bit of a pass, and it'll go for nothing.
So that's a little pop pass. That's something they have shown on film right there. We seen that also at the level that I coach. So that's something they'll try to get on the edge with.
A pivotal 3rd down now. 3rd down and 3 yards to go. Short package upcoming.
Like I said earlier, Luke, our guys got to get their lightsabers out, and they got to battle tonight. It's going to be one of those games.
3rd down conversion rate certainly tells a story in a lot of big games like this. We'll get our first look at it. Cole Lamont pressuring up the middle. Watch for his pressure at the nose guard position. Frankenfield doesn't like it. He'll audible at the line. Motion from the top. Taking the snap. Frankenfield will roll out. Has some space to throw. Finds his man. And it is short of the line to gain. Are they going to give him credit, however? They do. It's going to be a 1st and 10.
I mean, Cole read the play right there, Luke. Cole did read the play. He got the running back out of the backfield, but the running back had a little bit of angle on him. Gets to the flats. That's a nice throw by Owasso's quarterback, but we still held him to minimal gain right there.
Chris Zafaris on the catch and the conversion for the first down. 205 pounds. That extra 5 pounds past the 200 mark might have gotten him that extra inch he needed to get the first. Going to be heavy set on the near side here. Frankenfield will hand off and brought down immediately. It's going to be Hall to get sludged down.
Josie Sanders.
Josie Sanders on the tackle. 2nd and long.
We call him Bowser. So great job by Josie Sanders. I like that. I like that. Holly's fired up out there, as Madison said.
Loving to see the energy not only out of the defense early, but the coach on the sideline making things happen in his first year back as a Tiger.
We got Bethel in the slot right here to the near side.
Dropping back is Frankenfield. Wants to throw over the middle. He has his man. A little bit of a high throw, but Noah Hill goes up and makes the catch, and they're near midfield. Just past the 45 of the 46-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, that's going to be important right there. The seam routes with Noah and Bethel in the slots right there. I think Broken Arrow has to understand that we have to carry the seams right there, and we have to lock that down, because that is an easy throw for a sophomore quarterback in this type of environment in his first district game.
One of the more new and advancing aspects of the offensive game at the collegiate level is to spread the field vertically. We've seen that with the spread offense. This is a team that can do that. Direct snap to the running back. It is going to be to the outside, quickly moving his feet is
Ball's on the
Jason
ground.
Moe. Ball is on the ground and just missing a chance to grab that one with the boys in black.
Well, that play right there that Owasso just ran where they're shifting their running back and their quarterback, that's something that Broken Arrow has shown in practice film. I don't know if they got that from Owasso or if Owasso got that from us, but that's something we have seen before.
Second down and just 1 yard to go. Officials will call a timeout to discuss something early here tonight. Possibly what is a clock management situation. That clock was still ticking, being the game clock in particular. So they might have to reset the clock.
Got about 10 seconds to come off.
I would say at least about 10 seconds is what we're most likely going to be looking at. We'll see what we get that reset to in just a moment. 8:28 is on the clock right now. That will tick upward. 8:28 goes to 8:40. Remaining in our first quarter, driving into plus territory right out of the gate are the Rams at home.
They got Noah Hill in the slot right here.
Second down and 1, a handoff right up the middle, a ton of space, burning a hole right down the middle. It's a touchdown. The Rams are on the board early.
Right there, they just had a nice crease right there. They did what they had to do. The offensive line did a great job of locking our guys down and creating that hole for the running back to get the score.
5'7", 170-pound running back Jason Moe gets right through the defensive secondary and strikes early. 8:26 on the clock.
I mean, that was a well-executed play as we see the swinging game right here. Well-executed play by Owasso. Obviously, like you said in the game plans, you want to script your game plan. It looks like they got the two-point conversion complete from the quarterback to looks like number 8. Looks like number 8.
So a 7-0 start.
8-0
or
right there.
8-0, my apologies, start due to that decision.
Well, the thing about the swinging gate, I mean, you have to protect what you have to protect when it comes to the swinging gate. If they don't have what they like, they'll obviously kick the field goal. But if they see what they like, they'll make their adjustment, and they will. Oregon made that famous in the college ball about a few years ago, and everybody likes to run it.
Everybody certainly does. It is now a chance to respond offensively for Jeremiah Satemba and his offense. The junior quarterback will get his first look. It will be, of course, special teams to deal with it before we get to that point. Rams put one on the board in about 3.5 minutes.
That might be.
Caden Lawless back deep to return here. It'll go on to defensive set. You don't want to foot wanted the ball to start the game. They got the consequences on the positive side of that early, and it worked out for them.
Well, I think we have the firepower to hold to hang with them as far as offensive goes. But I mean, we have to do a better job of. But that whole, if he hits a lot better field position right there and start the half.
Possibly so. Satemba and Castillo will be the backfield on this first drive. 2 to the near side, 1 to the top side. Motion in front. Satemba will drop back, looks to throw, quick hitch route. It's caught, at least 5-yard pickup, if not 6 on first down. Positive gain, and quickly they want to move.
Well, that's the guy you want to get to right there as we go tempo right here. I think Zane is an X factor of not only of this game, of the year for these receivers.
It'll be second down and 3 yards as they give him credit for 7 on the pickup.
I like the move by Josh and his staff of putting Tayshawn in the slot and Keaton on the outside.
Motion here early. Is it going to be encroachment, or do we have a false start? That's the question. False start on the offense, and that's going to be the case to march you back to second down and 8.
Well, I mean, that big defensive line of Owasso with that 3 front that they run out there. I mean, like I said, I've told you off air. I mean, if you were a single digit, I mean, you got to be a dude. But I think we can handle these dudes tonight. Hopefully, we can handle these dudes tonight.
Satemba takes the snap on second down, hands off Castillo, up the middle. We'll get it to third and what looks to be at least manageable in the early going for the Tigers.
And what's key to our offense, especially to start a game, is not to play behind the chains to start out. That was a big penalty. I mean, you start off with a great play, positive yardage, put you in a second down situation. You get a penalty, and you're playing behind the chains. And I think tonight we have to continue to play ahead of the chains, like I said, against Mustang.
Most likely putting the ball through the air upcoming. Satemba will have Lawless in the backfield with him. One receiving option on the short side up top. Two in motion on the near side. There's Johnson to take the screen pass.
Nice,
Pitch out
nice.
wide
Get
to
out
Lawless.
there.
Lawless has the edge, and Lawless will pick up not only the first down, but a handful more. Great draw up early to keep the momentum going for the Tigers. A first down.
People may think that's getting into the trick bag right there, but I think that's part of our offense. That's something that we do right there. Great play call by Josh Blankenship and his staff for a first down.
Great separation by Lawless. Not only that, but Johnson has to make the catch and the pitch. All in the same motion, does so. Ton of heavy set in the backfield. Handoff up the middle. It's shut down immediately, maybe a couple of inches at best on the game. Going to be second down and basically 10 yards to go.
And Cowboy's kind of a patient running back, but I like to see him hit that hole a lot quicker.
Ton of pressure. The box is filled up. Satemba rolls out. Will option to go near the sideline, and it's caught. First down picked up again, and the Tigers now roll towards midfield.
Great boundary action right there by our offense. Great call by Blank and his staff right there. Getting Jeremiah off his spot, getting him outside where he can see a lot more. Get Tayshawn for the first down. We're moving the ball right now.
An 8-0 start for Owasso, the first offensive drive of the day. Now here for the Tigers, trying to respond early in this one in the first quarter. Handoff to Lawless, hits that hole a bit harder, and this time the result is a couple of yards.
Downhill power right there, great call. Keep him off balance right there.
At the 50-yard line.
2 yards on the play.
Giovanni Castillo comes in at running back. Tayshawn Jones-Wade.
Zane Matthews up at the top.
And Zane Matthews at the top. It'll be stacked at the line on the right side.
Owasso's playing their safeties down, tight in the box.
Dropping back, Satemba throws, quick hitch route, and again, Jones-Wade makes the catch. Makes it third down. Credit gives him at the 44-yard line.
And so far, I like the tempo of our offense, even though Owasso's bringing their safeties down because they're not scared of the pass right now. But I think we got to continue to give them a dose of good balance of the run and the pass to loosen up those safeties as they continue to play tight.
Look for the Tigers to use the far side of the field, potentially as they did on their first third down conversion. The box is stacked. Satemba. We'll see motion in front, takes the snap, hands off right up the middle. Lawless is able to get there and get a couple of yards extra. Another pickup and another first down.
And once again, this is the X factor. Them boys up front, they got to be able to bring the spice tonight.
Owasso bending right now, but not breaking defensively as another first down is picked up in the plus territory gain, no problem over these last couple of plays by the Tigers. Satemba and Lawless in the backfield will get the play from the sideline. Two options on the right, as well in the receiving core. Satemba hands off to Lawless. He'll bounce outside a bit, and he's swarmed after at least a yard and a half.
And once again, Luke, I like what we're doing here. I think the tempo of our offense, trying to get a little feel of what they're going to do defensively, but this should be good as the ball is about the 39-yard line.
Second down and 9, about 8.5. Rotation out wide, Zane Matthews to the top side of the screen now. Saw some motion in Blankenship. He'll signal what he'd like. Satemba has the word and the snap. He'll drop back. Satemba quickly getting rid of this football, and there it is. Third and manageable after a pickup of at least 4.
And I mean, once again, I mean, Zane's going to have to be the guy tonight, as it looks like Owasso's trying to play a little bit man-to-man on the outside. I think we'll attack him. One thing Blank always says, throw the hitch, throw the hitch, throw the hitch, throw the hitch. And once again, throw the hitch, throw the hitch, throw the hitch. Try to get these guys to come up so you can get them over the top.
Giovanni Castillo back in at running back. Last third down conversion was a run right up the middle with Lawless. Will they go back to the well on the ground game? Satemba takes the snap. He'll hand off. Castillo has it. Castillo marching through, and another first down for the Tigers. The run game has been marvelous early.
And this is what we have to do. We have to soften them up. The balance that I like right here is to keep their offense off the field, wear their defense down. It's a big defensive line, and I don't think they have seen anything like this yet.
The third down conversion of the night already on this opening drive. We are ticking down to 3 minutes and 25 seconds and counting left in the first, and we are not done with our second possession of the game. Motion at the line. Satemba takes the snap. Another handoff, far side of the field, working on ahead. This time, first down picks up a ton, and it's going to be second and short.
Great play call once again. He's thunder as they bring in a little bit of lightning right here. I know our Agent Zero isn't in right now, but I do like what we got right here with these two guys so far.
The depth at running back, we talked about it midweek with head coach Josh Blankenship. It's showing itself on the opening drive today. Lawless and Castillo, multiple third down pickups, and they've been tremendous.
I mean, it's typical Broken Arrow football, and I think at times you have to go back to what Broken Arrow does best. We have a tradition of running back, so this is what we do right here in Broken Arrow. We just run the football the way we're supposed to run it.
Satemba will pitch this one out wide on motion. St. Matthews has the edge and the first down. He's inside the 15-yard line, just outside of first and goal.
I like it. Once again, that's not a bag of tricks. That's part of our offense, and as we keep with the tempo right here, it keeps Owasso not from back on their toes, but not able to substitute like they want to substitute.
Giving a team like Bixby a ton of fits inside the 20-yard line. That was this Owasso defense. Having to prove you can score points in the red zone is a key against the Rams all year. It's been the storyline. Can the Tigers do such a thing? And there is an early jump, and it's going to be on the defense. So Owasso offside, that's the call. And this is going to push the Tigers 5 yards ahead.
Well, here we go. I mean, it opens up the playbook right here. I mean, your playbook is wide open right now, what you want to run here on 1st and 5.
First down and 5. They can still get to the 1-yard line and pick up a first down. Taking this snap, it's Lawless up the middle. He'll work on ahead, and he's got the first down.
Might be a yard short.
Might just be a yard short. His arm extended, but his knee down just shy. Are they going to give him second and inches?
Got him at the 2.5 right there, Luke. I like the good, strong run. I mean, that's something that Caden Lawless has not shown. Cowboy has not shown quite that often, but he's the type of guy that if you continue to feed him, he gets stronger as the game goes along.
Will they give it back to Lawless? A huge 60-plus yard touchdown on the road against Mustang last week. A direct snap to him. Lawless will step on ahead, diving towards the end zone, at least a first down and goal.
Looks like he's in. Is that the one? And that's the same play call that we ran, that Owasso ran a few plays ago on their possession. Shift the running back and the quarterback. Direct snap to the running back as he runs inside the 1-yard line for first down. Fresh set of downs right here. This is 4-down territory.
The bowling ball. Castillo comes into the game. Freshly shined, I might add. Ready to go down the lane. Will he get the handoff? Direct snap potentially right to Castillo again. Steps outside. Castillo is shut down on the outside. Second and goal upcoming.
No, they sniffed that out. Now we got a flag.
A flag on the play. Will it reset things for the Tigers? First and goal again.
Maybe
looking for our signal as of right now. There's a conversation being had, at least initially. Stepping in and listening to that conversation, Brashears. A dead ball personal foul against the Rams, and there it is. Half the distance to the goal for the Tigers.
Well, the Rams aren't used to this in the first quarter right now so far in this season, Luke. So this is uncharacteristic of this defense and in this ball club.
Cowboy Lawless, he's back into the game. Satemba, and there is motion at the front, and Satemba frustrated with that as he was moments away from getting that ball from his center.
Well, you got to hold your water right there. I mean, you're in a perfect position to make things successful right here, to put yourself in a position to make this a game right here. So I think our offensive line just to be patient, be patient.
Same set. Three-man front with the box stacked for Owasso. Seeing motion, they'll go to the sideline. Sitem on the snap, drops back, looking to his right, steps up. He's getting away from pressure, and he bounces off that pressure. Rotating back to his left, Sitem has a man!
He's
Scores!
in.
The Tigers are on the board. What a job done. Improvising out wide, Sitemba finds his man. A touchdown for the Tigers.
We do have a flag on the play. We do have a flag on the play, Luke.
Caden Lawless, at least initially, the touchdown catch for now. What is our call? A blindside block on the Tigers cancels out the tremendous effort of Sitemba and Lawless, and it'll march them back even further. A drive that saw themselves on the yard-and-a-half line.
Well, with the safety issues that we have in football right now, the block back, what they called right there, that's something. When you're scrambling, our guys have to understand sometimes you can't make that block right there, allow Jeremiah to be the athlete he is, and we make that score if we don't make that block.
So now a drive that sits on the 21-yard line. Moments ago, it was sitting on the 1. 15 yards and penalties have been added on. Dropping back Sitemba on second down. He'll get away from pressure, this time looking for a target. Has to get outside, throws, and it's short of Tayshawn Jones-Wade.
Well, he had Tayshawn early on that, Luke, and I think if he actually keeps his eye on Tayshawn, I think he has Tayshawn right there about the 3-yard line, but scrambling out, Tayshawn had to come back to him. But early on in that play, he had Tayshawn wide open in the middle.
So now a third down that might be a play call just to get it more manageable for a field goal to open up the game. We'll see if that's the case. It is 3rd and goal. They do have to get into the end zone unless they'd like to go for it on 4th down early against a team like the Rams.
Yes.
Here's Sitemba and Castillo in the shotgun. Dropping back. Sitemba throws, has a man, and getting out to at least the 18-yard line on that catch was Tayshawn Jones-Wade. And it most likely will bring out the field goal unit. It will.
You got to take the points right here, but once again, we have to play a flawless game in order to keep these guys where we want to keep them going into the 4th quarter. I think that's a missed opportunity by our offense. Making the mistakes that we made, we have to be better and we have to be more disciplined down there when we have opportunities like this.
So decided.
Just a reminder, there'll come a time that they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true, right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
And the Tigers are going to have to try to finish this play off, and they will blow the whistle. It is blown, and it will shut down the play. So the Tigers get no points out of a drive that killed off the remainder, all 8.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, got them down to the 1-yard line, and it zeroes on the board. We talked about how watching film clip by clip, you could see that in teams like Bixby, all of a sudden they'd be inside the 30-yard line, and then the next play that you click on your clicker, Owasso's got the football and the score's the same. And that's the example of what this Owasso defense can do. You cannot leave points off the board.
And they've been, but they don't break, and they didn't break on that one. Of course, they had a couple gifts by some penalties and some a little undisciplined, uncharacteristic things by our offense. But we just have to have either a 3-and-out or stop them and get them a punt on this series, and we can get back to what we're doing.
The defense, plenty of time to rest. The offense did keep them off the field for quite some time. Screen pass out wide. This has a ton of space near midfield. And down the sideline, stampering out. It's going to be at the 47.
We might have a hold.
Looks like we do have a flag on the play. Finishing off that play was Don Fryer to get him out of bounds. And I think it's coming back. There it is. There's the call, hold. And it will be first down and 20.
Well, and we can't allow them, and that's been the game plan of a lot of teams that's played us this year. The first 3 teams that's played us is getting that ball on those now screens out on the perimeter on us. I think we got to do a better job of just tackling one-on-one in open space.
Open field tackling and full team ball pursuit defensively is something that Coach Blankenship harped on his team about all week long, and he said he'll do it all season long. It's that important. They can be perfect one week and he'll still do it again each and every week. A ton of pursuit here. A handoff and a throw opportunity for Frankenfield. He has his man down the right sideline. A big pickup on first down.
And they had 2 reads on that after that direct snap to the running back and give back to the quarterback. They had one guy running a little corner route, smash route concept right there, but they did what they did. We took away the deep route, and we give up the underneath route.
Second down and 8 yards to go to get to the original first down marker. Ball is snapped, screen pass out wide, just as we said, having to have some open field tackling, and we do. Good tackle there by Tayshawn Jones-Wade, doing the job on both sides of the ball.
And it's all about pursuit also. It's all about pursuit as we take it down to Madison for a quick talk on the defense.
Yeah, guys, in the last huddle, Coach Hawley was telling them, this is big-time football. You have to go and you have to hold the seams. The message that he was repeating over and over again was hold the seams. Luke?
Hold the seams indeed. This team's going to spread you out. They're going to spread you out horizontally. They're going to draw you in so they can spread you out vertically. That's the task to deal with, and everybody's got to do their part here tonight. Certainly, Coach Hawley represents that in his words and his matches. Frankenfield's going to pick up the first with his legs. His first opportunity to do it in that regard, and he does.
A little shifty right there, but, I mean, they are right. Hawley is right. I mean, I've said it all night long. I say it all night long myself. You got to hold the seams. I mean, that's the easiest throw for a young quarterback in this environment. His first start in district play right here in 6A1. So you got to be able to take the seams away from him.
Coming back in from the sideline, Drew Hogan, he had a pick up on first down in this drive so far. First and 10, 10:50 left in this first half. It's an 8-0 Owasso lead. They scored on the opening drive of the day. 2-point conversion finished off that drive. The Tigers got within the 1-yard line. Came up with no points, unfortunately, penalties shutting down the drive. And a missed field goal. Frankenfield will have to get to the outside. Frankenfield breaks one tackle. He'll have to just run it himself. He'll do so. And not only gets away from pressure, but picks up the majority of yards he needs for the Sticks.
Obviously, if you don't have who he has, he's going to make that run right there. But I think they was running a little bit of the scissors route that we call, where I coach at down there in the 9th grade level. A little scissors route, comes out on a scramble. His inside or his outside receiver had to come down, but he ends up making what he had to do to get the first down right there. About a yard short of the first down.
Second down and 1.
Got Noah Hill in the slot again.
Handoff up the middle, and good pressure and good bring down by the likes tonight of Gunnar Wilson on the tackle. 10:29 and counting left. And it's going to set up a third down and about 4 to go this time.
Might be bringing a little heavy set in as they make a little switch.
Jaden Hall, a tough man to bring down in the backfield.
Okay, they got, looks like they might have number 98 as a tackle, extra tackle in. As they are running heavy, probably running into the boundary.
Will they do so? Up the middle, bringing him down for just a moment. Is it going to be enough for the first? They're going to give him credit. Having wrapped up the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage, he pushed forward, and they give him credit. Now twice in this game, very close calls on third down have allowed Owasso to keep the drive alive.
Well, it's one of those things that, you know, their best guy, one of their best guys against our best guy, and they won that matchup right there.
Frankenfield drops back on first down, wants to get rid of it. His throw is well wide, incomplete.
And once again, we got that's Noah Hill right there in the scene. We got to find a way to stop that, because if he puts that right on the money, he's still running for a touchdown.
Finding those soft pockets over the middle right now, Owasso has done so. They're 1 for 2 on opportunities in that regard, however, as this one was underthrown by Frankenfield to Hill. First time he picked up that pass, though, he had to go pretty high up to get the football, so Frankenfield's still trying to find that accuracy that's really going to allow yards after the catch.
Oh, yeah, and I think he's also feeling a lot of pressure that's coming in from our defensive line.
Motion here out wide. Frankenfield will throw this one to Bethel. Bethel has space, and he's got the first down and more. Plus territory now. Owasso will be inside the 40.
When you're going to the field like that and you got the numbers that you have and you got a guy like Bethel who has the speed, and once he gets that pass and he gets downhill, he's going to be tough to stop.
On the pickup, Takari Bethel. As we mentioned, opening week of the season, a 3-touchdown day. One of the Oklahoma Players of the Week then. In the backfield is Jason Mole at running back. Frankenfield off to his right. Takes the snap, dropping away. Frankenfield will step outside.
Well, something that we've seen a little bit on film right there, Luke, but obviously the quarterback run game is what they're wanting to stick with a little bit right here as they're trying to keep us off balance.
Ball sits just outside of the 30 right now, the 33. These drives dragging out time for both teams so far tonight. No quick, easy 3-and-outs in what is just the third drive for these teams combined this evening. Frankenfield will run again. That's been the story of this drive number 2 offensively for the Rams. He's been moving his feet and he gets outside. It'll be a short yard situation.
I mean, he just stepped up in the pocket and took what he had to take. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to press what you have to press. And as a young quarterback like him, as a sophomore, that's a great decision by Frankenfield.
Third down and short, very short. Says gone in the favor of Owasso both times so far. We get a whistle. Is this a timeout? No, it's just a procedural issue for the officials as of right now. Coach Hawley animate there to make sure his defense knows the set for this 3rd and 2.
It's another big down right here.
3rd down and 2. Owasso hands the ball off. They have a ton of space, and he's gone again. It's Jason Mole, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the evening. They brought the full blitz, and it didn't work out on the outside. It is a 2-possession game.
Well, that outside linebacker just got too far upfield. I mean, I think he has to settle his feet, squeeze down a little bit on that. He got too far upfield, runs right past him. He gets underneath him, and he's out the gate.
14-0, and they will bring on the extra point. The kick is up, and it will right now make it a 15-0 game. We'll send it to break. When we come back, the Tigers will get the ball for the 2nd time tonight. 8:58 left in our ball game. We'll be back on ArrowVision.
Uh-oh, can't find your debit card? Don't worry, because with TTCU, you're always in control of your card. Just lock and unlock it from your phone. Card controls from TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone & Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone & Joint, moving life forward.
Now quick run, Castillo will come in for him. At the 1st and 10. Satemba will rotate. Takes the snap, hands off. Castillo patiently waiting for a moment, bounces away from a tackler but is shut down. About a half yard, if not a full yard, lost on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 11.
And great penetration by those big boys up front for Owasso. I mean, we have to do a better job of hooking up and getting them drug back at least a couple yards so Castillo can do his thing.
A lot of motion at the line for Zeke Wilson, the tight end. We'll watch for that all night long, see if he gets involved in the ball carrying action as well at any point.
Well, this is the type of game for Zeke right here. I think if we do throw the football, I think that's a safe haven for Jeremiah to see Zeke either on the seam or in the flats, and we can get him going.
There is a flag on the play. It's going to be another false start. And I'll be honest here, you're looking at this, it isn't an Owasso crowd tonight that's necessarily on their feet, making it difficult to hear at this point in time in the ball.
With them, or our guys are trying to get a quick step on that very hefty defensive line that they have.
Included in that, Silva, Ricardo Fernandez. Bounce back, wants to go deep into coverage, and it is caught. What a job done, Tayshawn Jones-Wade, a first down inside the 30.
And that's what he does. I mean, you want to get, if you want to make a play right there, you got to get it to your guy. You got to throw it up. Tayshawn's going to go up there, and that's a great D1 type of play right there for Tayshawn.
Wanting to work quickly, the Tigers will roll. 7:26 and counting on the clock. A 15-0 deficit. Satemba hands off. Castillo has more space this time on his second carry of the drive. He'll pick up 3.
I think we got to do it, and we're continuing to still do. Like I said before, I think our offense can stay with Owasso when it comes to scoring points, but we have to continue to control the football, continue to control the clock, do what we have to do, but we have to put 6 on the board every time we have the football.
Motioning Lawless from right to left. Satemba will hand it off to him. Lawless slips by. Lawless on ahead, will move inside, now close to the 15-yard line. A tremendous second run of the drive for Lawless.
Let me correct you on that one, Luke. That looks like the freshman Corey Sango.
Never mind, that is.
Yeah, that's the freshman Corey Sango on that carry right there. Great job by Corey.
Again, an example, like you mentioned, of the depth of this team. He's going to get his first action tonight. He does so on that drive, that play. And now they bring Lawless back in.
That was a great play. I mean, fresh legs and Corey Sangar right there. Great run by Corey, as he's a very emotional player, and that was a great job by him.
Quick hitch route. It is dropped on the outside. Wade.
Yeah, he had his head turned. I mean, the ball's coming to him. He had his head turned. As Jerry Rice used to always say, you want to look that ball in, and then you make your move.
Right. Satemba.
That's what make the greatest catches in the world, and sometimes the most routine catches. He's about 70% on catching right there, but he's still young. I mean, I know he's a junior, but that to me, it's still young, and he'll get better at that as the season goes along.
Taking their time patiently here. Clock is stopped at the moment, so no problem settling in.
Little diamond right there.
8 seconds on the clock, taking the snap. It's a handoff. Lawless to the outside. He's got some space. It'll pick up a handful on 2nd and 10.
Hey, once again, great game plan so far by our offense. I think we got to continue to keep Owasso off balance as they're rotating those defensive linemen in and out. I think that's a situation that we're trying to wear them down.
3rd down and 5 yards to go to get to the first. So far, the offense proving they can stay in a drive. And will do just that, drive the football down the field. They need 6. That's the back end of the equation they've been looking for on drive number 2. Satemba drops back, a ton of pressure on him. He's having to get away. Satemba towards the goal line. He's in. A touchdown.
He's in.
Jeremiah Satemba will get the Tigers on the board.
And the most important thing, there's no flags, 6 points for Broken Arrow. And once again, I said at the beginning of the year, Luke, Satemba has to use his legs in order for us to be the type of offense that we can be. Great job by Satemba.
A ton of pressure pursuit from the left side of the line. Satemba able to roll out to the right and run it all the way into the end zone. Protects his body and the football. And it's 6 on the board for Broken Arrow and an extra point away from making it a 1-possession game again.
I call that a little oregano spice right there. Great job once again by Satemba.
You can add it to just about anything and it always tastes good and it makes it better. There you go. Nick Irvine on its way with his kick. It's up Irvine, it's no problem. Successful on the extra point, and it's a 15-7 ball game. 5:32 to go in the half.
And you have to keep Owasso off balance. And I think, like I said, we have a great offensive coaching staff. They put their heads together. They know the game plan. They've been together for some time, and Josh Blankenship's tenure here at Broken Arrow. So that's one thing that has been consistent is our offensive staff. And we continue to communicate and do what we got to do. I think we're in this ball game for the 4th quarter, and I think that's what we got to get to. Keep it close, keep it within a touchdown or so when we get to the 4th quarter so we can get 8-0 in here with some fresh legs.
About to send it away via kickoff after the first points on the board for Broken Arrow tonight. We want to thank our One Club sponsors as well this evening. First National Bank of Broken Arrow, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Tulsa Bone and Joint St. Francis, as well as Ascension St. John, Quick Trip, Shields, BAPS Foundation, and the Arrow Group. Always thanking our One Club sponsors. You're watching BA Tiger football on ArrowVision. Such an important drive to get points on. Teetering on a 3rd and 5 there where you might be setting yourself up for your 2nd field goal attempt. It's not the case. Now you've really said to yourself, if it weren't for a mistake on the 1-yard line, this game's a tie game and you're in this football game. You also get the ball at half. If you can get a stop here, this is an opportunity to control the game.
And it's going to put Owasso in a situation they haven't been in so far in this 24th season.
Sending away, Irvine. Short, shallow kick. It is popped up into the air. Ball is loose for just a moment, and falling on it is Owasso. A chance to get the ball back, and the field position not bad at all.
Well, that was a great call by our special teams guys, John Bullock and Nick Gorman. I know Nick Gorman's down there, and John's in the booth. But that was a great game plan right there. Getting that ball into the middle, little squib kick right there. It's unexpected. You don't want to get the ball to 7th and 14.
We'll send it down to Madison with the defense who gets their 3rd chance of the night.
Yeah, guys, Coach Hawley was saying, hey, you're playing well. We're just missing little things here and there, and that's making the difference. We have to learn from that last drive. Something good is going to happen. Just keep it up, guys.
Certainly to amplify that point, Madison, it's been 3rd downs. Just converting on that defensively has been a difference. A lot of 3rd down conversions tonight for the Rams, and they will start their drive from their own 28-yard line. taking the snap. Frankenfield will roll out, looks to his right, telegraphs it a bit, and it just goes through the hands of his intended receiver, that being tonight Takari Bethel.
And like you said, third down is the key. And third down is the key not only on offense, but it's also the key on defense tonight. I mean, we got to be able to put them in second and long, third and long situations, because Owasso needs to punt the football in order for us to get it to the fourth quarter.
Down by one possession in the back and forth scenario right now, needing a stop of their own, the Tigers tonight. They're 0 for 2 so far defensively, this being the third opportunity. Screen pass out wide, it's going to have a ton of space to work with. Well outside is Hall, and he picks up the first and more. A ton of collapse on the ball carrier, being the quarterback there. That allowed just a body situation to be outmatched.
Well, and also there's a lot of eye candy right there, and that's a unique formation that Owasso brought out there, but it's just a lot of eye candy. And once again, they're going to get the ball to the perimeter, because I think that they know that they can be explosive once they get the football on the perimeter.
We'll see if a Tiger can jump around here at some point tonight in this scheme. Watch for the far side of the field if they do want to work the ball out wide again. Frankenfield, there it is again. A throw high to Noah Hill. It's caught. Chance for an open field tackle, and it is finished off behind the line of scrimmage. There's that open field tackling in ball pursuit that helps out.
Great job right there by Messiah. By Messiah right there, and Dagan McCluskey cleaning it up right there. Great pursuit by Dagan. I mean, he's got to be on fire also.
Second down at 12 to go.
Looks like we're about Rocky right here, where we're playing our secondary a little bit deep.
Snap to Frankenfield, has time to get rid of the football, does so. Cole Lamont just missing that tackle, and it's going to allow a couple more yards past the line to gain. There is that tackling that has to be shored up in open field right there, coming back to haunt the Tigers.
Now, I've always said I don't mind the first guy missing as long as you slow him down, but once that first guy misses and slows him down, that second guy has to clean it up, and we have to do a better job of that.
So 1st and 10 in plus territory. This drive started on the 28-yard line, killing off a lot of clock once again. 4 minutes and 13 and counting left in our first half. Owasso, their goal in a 4-minute offense right now to milk as much as they can and get on the board if possible. Frankenfield, empty set in the shotgun by himself. Motion here, and he'll take this snap and lob one out left side on the screen pass. Another missed tackle, but helping out and getting into the action, a couple of Tiger helmets flying in. Flag on the play.
Great job on the pursuit right there. We have to continue to do that. I think we have to do that 100% of the time tonight. Turn and run, turn and run, turn and run. 11 hats within 5 yards of the football, fly around, great things happen.
The flag was near the tackle, so we'll see if it is a part of the tackle being our flag. Blindside block against Owasso. That's going to march them back in an important pivotal opportunity to start to close the gap a bit on this Owasso team.
And it's something that's been around. I think a lot of these guys just want to make the big hit, the highlight hit, all this and all that. But they got to understand the safety of the game is important, not only to these referees, but for these kids in order for us to keep this a safe game. But they always want to make that highlight hit.
It'll be now back on their own 42-yard line. Call it 43. Motion from top to bottom here, and a handoff out wide against the tackles. Brought down a handful of yards, but good ball pursuit on the run there. A ton of space has been given to these Rams in the run game. Well, it's starting to change a bit.
And I like that. I like that our guys are starting to settle in, because one thing I can tell you, offensively out of a bye week, hey, you're just doing what you do best, but defensively you don't get the speed of the game, you don't get the hits of the game, and right now we're doing a great job of trying to settle in.
Frankenfield to drop back. Pressure from the outside is shut down. A great coverage blanket right now by BA, but finding the seam on the right side was Drew Hogan at the last moment. Frankenfield will help pick up the first.
And a tough thing right there. It's not a first down right there.
Well, that's right. Back to the original line of scrimmage. That is 3rd down and what is 7.
But what's difficult for defensive backs and sometimes linebackers in pass coverage is when that quarterback starts to roll out, they want to get a little bit antsy and come up to the line of scrimmage. You got to make sure that quarterback passes the line of scrimmage before you want to come up and make the play.
Screen out wide. There's more space for the 2-touchdown man Mole tonight, or rather that being Hall on the carry. He'll pick up officially, yes, now the first.
And that's a little swing pass out the Hall right there. I mean, he's a big bowling ball coming downhill. Coached against him a few years ago. I mean, he's a big guy to bring down, but I think once you hit him low, he will kind of fold a little bit. But I mean, he's in open space. He's coming downhill, and that's a big load to bring down.
The Rams already up by 1 score. They go screen pass again, and there's an easy jab move by Noah Hill for a touchdown. Breakdown defensively in the secondary, and it's the 3rd touchdown in a row on 3 drives for Owasso.
Well, right there, that's just fundamentals right there. Colby Crosby's got to put a dot on that hip, shoot the near side hip, and he's got to break down. He can break down and run through it. He can't allow plays like that in the open field. Get a jab step, he jukes you, and next thing you know, it's 6 on the board. This is what we got to keep Owasso from doing, is the big plays. They are a program that is predicated on big plays. You've seen that on film, Luke. We have to limit their big plays.
Now this final drive of the second half predicated on the fact that we'll have to try to get within 1 score to really utilize that second half possession to get going. Going to be an interesting 2 minutes and 21 seconds. It's not been easy to get down the field quick.
No, it hasn't been easy to get down the field quick, but I do think we're still in a great position here. Like, you get down, even if you get 10 on this or 3 on this, you make it a 22-10 ball game going into the halftime. You go down, you get 6. I mean, I'm saying this, but you can do it. I mean, our guys can do it. We just cannot continue to shoot ourselves in the foot. We can play with the best teams in the state if we play flawless. But this also shows you that an experienced team like Owasso, like they are, an experienced program like they are, they make you pay for the mistakes you have. I mean, we still have to understand we cannot shoot ourselves in the foot.
So the Tigers, unfortunately, can't get a stop in what looks like this first half in total. But each drive taking a ton of time off the clock, just a 22-7 game right now. 1 for 2 offensively tonight is BA. They'll get the ball for the 3rd time. It's sent away. Lawless will receive this one inside his own 10-yard line, bounces away from pressure, waiting for some blocks. And there goes Lawless up towards the 25, but as you mentioned, Mo, we might see a hold.
Got 2 flags, so be curious to see what we got here.
So that'll march things back for the Tigers, making this 2 minute and 14 second scenario on the clock a lot more interesting.
Well, at least you got to get 3 on the board right here. I mean, it's very important that you get some type of points on the board, knowing that you come out at the halftime with an opportunity to put 6 on the board. To me, you want 6. I mean, I think that's the way Blake and his guys are going to pursue this drive. You need 6, but I would be pretty happy with 3.
We'll see what they would like to do early in the drive. Do they try to stretch the field immediately? Do they stay within identity regardless of the 2 minute and 14 second scenario? You haven't taken a timeout in the half. You've got all 3 in your pocket, and that's a benefit here on the road for sure, to be going into the last drive of the half still having all 3.
Well, I think 2 minutes and 14 seconds with this offense and with the way Blank calls plays, 2 minutes and 14 seconds is a lifetime. I think early you stick with what you do best if you get the yardage you get, but later on in the drive, if the clock starts to go down, you got to do what you got to do and get into the deep into the playbook.
So here we go. From his own goal line, Satemba will be in the shotgun to take this snap. From the 6-yard line, the drive will begin. Lawless steps on ahead and won't get anything on first down.
Nice pursuit up front by Owasso, but I think we got to do a better job of hooking up. I mean, we got to keep these guys out of the backfield. One of the best defensive lines, obviously, in state, but we have to do a better job of hooking up and keeping the guys off of our backfield.
Second down and 11 is what they call it. Back at the 5-yard line. Satemba will drop back, looks to throw a quick hitch route, caught by Zane Matthews, it would seem. And a good pickup, 2 yards short of the first.
Great pursuit right there. I mean, that's great technique by that defensive back for Owasso. Once Zane settled his hips, he was right there on the play.
Wanting to work quickly here with the clock rolling, 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the half. Still haven't used a timeout yet. There is a substitution coming on, but the clock's still rolling right now. 22 on the play clock. A lot of time leaking off right here. Gonna need some benefit on first down. Or rather, third down to pick up that first down. Satemba will throw to try to pick that up.
Got it.
And it is a catch. Tremendous catch while taking a hit. And that is Tayshawn Jones-Wade.
As we get the change set, the clock will start once the chains are set, Luke. So should be right here in a little bit of a hurry-up offense.
Clock will roll now. Down to 40 seconds to go in the half. Satemba will drop back, wants to get rid of it over the middle. He'll do so, and it's just over the wrong shoulder, unfortunately. Incomplete.
Well, Keaton looks like Keaton wanted to go a little bit further inside. Satemba thought he was going to stop right there, settle into the zone. Could have been a wrong read by Keaton, could have been a wrong read by Jeremiah, but incomplete passes as it is.
Clock officially stops with the incomplete pass of 36 to go. Lawless off to the left. Satemba will roll to the right with this one. It is Wilson on the catch. It looks like his first catch of the day, and it will get most of what he needs. Are they going to use a timeout here?
Looks like as we go to third down, it might be one of those deals where you just go into halftime right here knowing you're going to get the football back. And you just go back in, go back to the drawing board and regroup.
Handoff up the middle. That is going to take us to half. First down picked up, but just 3 seconds on the clock. What is going to be the call here? Do they allow that clock to just run out, or do they take a timeout?
Looks like we got a timeout.
And we'll take one of those timeouts. So,
timeout Broken Arrow.
Tigers in a scenario where they might want to either talk about it to see if they want to take a shot downfield, or if they just want to make sure that the procedure is right to go ahead and get this to halftime.
Well, and it's one of those deals. Like I said, you got 3 seconds. I don't think we're far enough up on field territory for us to try to get it to the end zone. Maybe it's something that they're talking about in the huddle, but maybe a little hook lateral. I know we already read that in our first possession, but we'll see what we got here. They'll obviously Jock Washington, DC for Owasso will have his secondary and his linebackers in the pre-vet defense. Probably have his big boys up front, try to get some pressure.
Most likely we'll bringing 3 up front. It looks like they'll probably bring 4 on the pressure.
Yeah, you'll probably have bring 4 under pressure. Probably bring their 2 linebackers down right there.
Satemba throws a screen pass. Zane Matthews, or rather Tayshawn Jones-Wade on the catch. Won't be able to get it to any other space. So that'll end the half. The score is 22-7. Long drives we've seen tonight.
Yes.
Out of everybody here so far. And it has been an interesting one to navigate thus far. So, chance to get the ball to start the second half as well. And that seems like a scenario where it's almost, you gotta for sure get some points. We'll see if we can get head coach Josh Blankenship in just a moment. Looks like we will get that opportunity, so we will stand by as Madison has more with head coach Josh Blankenship having a conversation with our officials right now. We'll send it down to Madison with Coach Blankenship.
You've controlled the time of possession so far, and you'll get the ball to start the third. What are you looking for?
We controlled the time of possession because they scored so fast. We've got to do a better job of tackling, and then on offense, we got to quit shooting ourselves in the foot with pre-snap penalties. We're doing some good things execution-wise on both sides of the ball. Defense is flying around. We just got to tackle better.
Thanks, Coach.
Certainly so. Like we mentioned, it was one of those games where everybody was dragging out their offensive drives for these defenses. They're going to have to get into the locker room and take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath, but I mean, I've said it myself, and I've said it all season long. Blank has even said it all season long. I mean, you have to make the tackles in the open field in order for this defense to be successful. But like you said, I mean, they're explosive and they're going to score quick. But obviously we're going to have time of possession, but we have to stop their explosive plays.
No doubt we will stay on here right now as the Glover activation is what we'll get a chance to look at and see. 19 minutes and counting on the clock, and it's going to be a long 19 minutes in that locker room. I think it's one of those scenarios where I think you like a lot of things out of your first half, but of course I think he put it perfectly. They just scored so darn quick on the plays that they did score.
Well, and that's what they've showed all season long, and it's one of those guys. It's one of those teams that you have to make them drive, and if you make them drive, I think they make mistakes.
Looks like we'll send it down to our festivities going on at halftime. We'll send it down to the field here at Owasso High School.
Make a $1,000 donation on behalf of the winning team. We're going end zone to end zone with some fun challenges in between. All right. Get ready, set, go. It looks like Owasso's got a slight lead. Come on, fans, let's cheer them on. And Broken Arrow has pulled ahead. We're neck and neck at the 40-yard line. And Owasso has pulled back ahead. We're getting close to crowning a winner. Come on, fans, make some noise. And it's Owasso crossing the end zone first. Congratulations to Owasso, and a big thanks to Jim Glover Auto Family. And now, fans, please turn your attention to the field for a very special joint spirit performance from your Owasso and Broken Arrow Spirit Squad.
The moment you hit the stunt perfects and everyone around you is cheering, it's a whole different level of, oh, I did this. Oh, it really paid off.
Dedication and hard work have paid off for the Broken Arrow High School Cheer Squad. This year, they've embraced new opportunities, winning the USA Nationals in Florida. Their journey showcased growth and unity, sticking the landing every step of the way.
Starting out the year, we had 6 girl seniors, and then we added all these boys to the team. So we started out with a really young team. The boys had never cheered before. They came in, they did great. So it was really exciting to see their growth and just how well everyone adapted and really came together to work for that goal of winning UCA Nationals.
I've always wanted to let her and succeed in high school, and I think the ring just tops it off.
It's more than just a team, it's family. With each new challenge, they lift each other higher. Now with the new facility, they have a springboard to help them stick their goals and keep reaching new heights.
I mean, it was the most funnest experience ever. It was just such a family here. Everybody was so loving and caring. The coaches are amazing, so it's just a great experience overall.
Cheer is like a second home for me. I don't have any siblings, so these people are my siblings. Like, they're my best friends, and I couldn't imagine like doing anything without them.
A new title and a brand new state-of-the-art facility will give the team everything they need to keep winning and elevate their training. With advanced equipment and dedicated practice areas, the Broken Arrow Cheer Squad is set to sharpen their skills and stay at the top of their game.
It means a lot because there's a lot of D1 schools that don't have this nice of gyms and stuff, and it means a lot to not only me and just everyone in here that people are looking and caring for the cheerleaders.
The Cheer Squad is ready to create more memories and maintain their success. At the new Event Center at Broken Arrow High School with ArrowVision, I'm Dan Hawk.
Today is one of the most important days that we have here in athletics because we get to be around student athletes. These students were hand-selected by head coaches representing all of the varsity sports. We just want to empower and educate these student athletes so that they can take back the lessons that they've learned today and understand that their influence has an incredible amount of power on their teams and power in the community to influence people in a positive manner.
I really learned the importance of discipline for myself and holding myself to high standards, because when I hold myself to high standards, I'm able to be a better leader.
So today we talked about integrity, we talked about service before self and excellence here in their teams and at school and in the community, and just even like when they're at McDonald's with their friends, hanging out, having a meal. Everything counts because everything communicates. So people in that restaurant see them and how they interact with the employees, how they interact with each other, and how they interact with the other patrons in the restaurant. And so that's really important, I think, as leaders to understand, like, hey, everything we do communicates something to other people, and that matters for our team and our school and our community.
You're going to leave a legacy here, one way or the other. When you're gone, people will talk about you. Think about that for a minute. When you are gone from here, people will talk about you.
So these students have an opportunity to really embrace the leadership role and leave a legacy that when people talk about them, they talk about them in a positive light, and they left this place better than they found it.
He's just such a valuable asset to this team. He builds such great relationships, which that's what we really focus on at the Freshman Academy, is connecting and engaging with our students. And he does that without hesitation.
The guy is full of energy, full of positivity. It doesn't matter, the guy will light up the darkest room. And just the momentum, he is always pushing to make those guys better.
He knows they're having a hard day and he'll go check on them in other classes, and he will also check on them at lunch or sit down with them at lunch and just have a conversation and find things that are relatable to them and really look at them as a person, not just a student, but the whole picture of who they are.
So 1,500 kids, this guy is a positive change agent for all of those kids. And so the simple fact that he's got that much energy, he's got that much positive energy going towards even the kids that are struggling to just the normal everyday kid, it's awesome. We love having him.
Uncle Vinny's is a great community partner of Linwood Elementary School. We have done spirit nights here before. One of our board members works here, and we just love the owners. They just love on us, and we wanted to give back to them as well.
Wanted to work with a partner in the community, and Vinny's has been fantastic for us. So preparing for our field trip, we did some math, working on graphing and fractions, and then just some of those basic life skills of being able to identify what they want, preparing their food, asking for it, working on communication. It's been a fantastic field trip.
All the students here were able to pick their own pizza ingredients, make their pizza, we cooked it for them, and then they're able to have fresh pizza.
So Uncle Vinny's had it prepared for us with menus, boxes with kids' names on it, and then they had to go through and read their list and identify what toppings they wanted, which before we came, it was a classroom discussion and graphing of identifying what toppings they want, what they would like to prepare for. They did wonderful. So they made it to where everybody had their own individual slices, individually boxed, labeled it, made it, and then prepared it and cooked it for us.
Teachers were also here, and we had so much fun just partnering with Uncle Vinny's.
It's been a fantastic field trip. So far, our most successful, with everyone being so happy and enjoying their time. And Christy has worked wonderfully with Uncle Vinny's to make it so smooth for us.
This day is a culmination of the entire year. We've been working with Unified Champions in putting our special ed students doing different activities, one a month with one of our gen ed classes. And then today was the pinnacle event for that. And our entire school got to come out and be the fans in the stands and cheer for them.
So the thing about why we're here for this event, cheer has been pretty involved in Unified Champions, and me this year being a cheerleader, and a lot of the people on the team that are heavily involved within it, they asked us to be a part of it, to come here, just cheer Unified Champions on.
They made signs and posters. They have friends that push into their classes, and so just having the whole school out here to cheer on these students was just an amazing, amazing treat for all of us.
You know, it's Super Kids Day for them, but they aren't able to participate in that, so they had their own little special things, so they asked us to help out, do a little bit of chance, be out there, have some pom-poms, have some fun, so we, of course, were willing to do that.
One of our teachers, our gen ed teacher, Sarah Smiley, teamed up with one of our special education teachers, Kelly Schoen, and together they championed this effort. They came to me probably in December wanting to, know how we could make this happen. And so I gave them the green light, partnered with the Special Olympics teachers at the high school to get this going. And it's just been amazing to see the kids make friends with students they wouldn't have known otherwise.
When I told my mom I was a part of it, she's like, oh, we're going to be there. I was like, oh, that's so awesome. So I made sure to be out here for that. But it was great to see that there's Kickers doing a thing where they're able to have separate things for people who don't have the opportunity to be a part of Super Kids Day for them to do that. So that's pretty cool to see.
Sidelined with an injury? Running interference with a cold or flu? When it comes to your health, don't drop the ball. Choose All-Star Care from your hometown healthcare team. Ascension St. John.
Introducing QT Pay, the easiest way to transform every trip, every treat, and every gallon into instant savings every time you pay. all within the QT app. QT Pay. It just makes sense.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Welcome to Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. You are watching Tiger football live on ArrowVision.
Ball game home, man on the porch singing baritone. 10-line leads to that gentle place between a collarbone and a stone cold fate. That candles all say goodbye to the women that they swear are gonna be their wives, but they'll be gone by the winter time. And they don't wanna bother with no friend of mine. Dead hot American nights, shake your body dry on the coastline.
Tiger fans getting on their feet as the sprint officially commences. We snuck our forwards to the shore and drank a bottom bone. Dead hot American nights, dead hot American nights, dead hot American nights. Drank a bottom and walking into the end zone. A touchdown. Tayshawn Jones-Wade gives the Tigers the lead again. Lucky student has a chance to hit this field goal, and he does.
Oh my goodness.
Roberson spinning. He's in a touchdown. Octavian Roberson. The steal. driving right down the middle. He's gone. Giovanni Castillo adds salt to the wound. The Broken Arrow Tigers have finished off game number 1 in 2024 with a victory, 42-21 here tonight, as the clocks hit 0 and the Tigers are 1-0. Welcome back to Tiger Football on ArrowVision. An opportunity for a second half for BA to respond. A 22-7 deficit as you rejoin us on ArrowVision. Myself, Luke Hamilton, alongside me, Mo Wallace, and of course down on the sidelines throughout the night, Madison Dildine. Let's crunch these numbers. Feeling, of course, in hindsight now as the half has taken a breath, the guys are back out on the field, and it's an opportunity to get the ball to start this second half.
Well, yes, I'm with Blank. I mean, we have to keep it elementary. I mean, we have to play flawless football. We're the type of program right now in this building process that we have going on in Broken Arrow. We're the type of program that has to play flawless football against teams like this, teams like Owasso, teams like Union. We have to play flawless football once again. And if we don't, we'll always be behind the chains like we're doing right now. So, but I think once we come out here in the second half, either you get 3 points or you get 6. I prefer 6. Blake prefers 6. The program prefers 6. And we'll see where we go from there.
Looking at the numbers, Jeremiah Satemba, 11 for 14 through the air, 114 yards. To add to that, his completion percentage sitting at 79%. That's what you want out of your quarterback through the air. He only had an opportunity to hold the football really about 2.25 times. That last drive, the third drive of the day offensively, was just wash time that Broken Arrow very clearly just wanted to get to the locker room with at the end of it. Caden Lawless on the ground, he leads everybody in rushing yards, 38 on the night, but nobody averages more than 3.8 yards a carry. That's going to have to probably pick up as the night goes.
Well, you got to run the football in the state of Oklahoma in 6A1 football. If you're not running the football like you're supposed to run the football, you're not going to win a lot of football games. But, I mean, that's the base of our offense. That's the base of what we do here at Broken Arrow, and we got to get those guys going, and we're 1 quarter away. If we get a score here, we stop Owasso, get some points back on the board, we're 1 quarter away from getting H0 in the game.
Stopping Jason Mole on the ground on the Owasso side of things is going to be a key. He's got 2 carries today. He's got 73 yards. He averages 36.5, and he's got 2 touchdowns.
Well, it's explosive football. I mean, you got to understand that you got to keep these guys and you got to keep them riled up. You got to keep them away from the perimeter, keep everybody pursuing the football, either get it laterally, but you can't let them get to the perimeter and get upfield.
Drew Frankenfield, he's been great through the air, but wish we could go back and maybe get the numbers on this, how many screen passes that are basically 100% completions have been in this game. He's 13 for 15. The 2 balls that have missed, those have been the balls that he's looked to throw downfield 10 to 15 yards. Frankenfield is playing safe and conservative. That's the approach with him, and he's even done a little bit with his legs. If you can force this quarterback to have to move the ball down the field vertically, you might be able to get him into trouble, but right now, he's going to keep dinking and dunking these screen passes if it's allowed.
Well, he's young, and they've done a great job of keeping him within their system right now. I mean, they're trying to grow him. They're trying to do what they do best. Right now, it's the screen game, and that's right now is what beats Broken Arrow on defense. Right, is an out game, which they're doing a great job of. But we just got to do a better job of tackling an open field, tackling on the perimeter.
Both of these teams have been tremendous tonight in a couple of areas. 6 for 7 on third downs is the Broken Arrow Tigers. 5 for 5 is Owasso on third downs. These defenses have had really no answer for third down situations. Also, time of possession, 14 minutes. 14 minutes and 23 seconds in favor of Broken Arrow to just that 9:37 for Owasso. But as Coach Blankenship highlighted in frustration, we lead in possession time because Owasso's been able to score quicker than we have, and well, we drained a lot of clock and came up with no points.
Well, that's Owasso football in a 24 campaign right now, but we have to capitalize on what we do best, and we just have to. We got to get back to playing Broken Arrow football. I mean, Luke, I know it sounds like a broken record, but it's Broken Arrow football. Control the clock, run the football, get Satemba outside the pocket, throw the football downfield. The run sets up the pass. Go tempo. Just do what we do best, and we can't let games like this as a young program right now get to us. We have to take advantage of our opportunities, and we got to learn how to punch the football in to be a championship program right now.
No major difference in the penalty game right now. 5 penalties for 36 yards for Broken Arrow, 4 for 31 for Owasso. So, hey, if you can get them into some penalty trouble, stay out of it yourself. You might be able to swing the page here just a bit. Broken Arrow's going to take the ball to start the half, and the kickoff from the 40-yard line is almost set and ready to go.
Well, we're almost there, Luke. I mean, the penalty game is what killed us in Mustang, but we're almost there. I mean, we've taken care of the penalty situation. It's just about punching the ball in whenever we're in the green zone.
A 22-7 deficit to deal with to start the second half. It's going to go just shy of the goal line. In fact, it's going to roll out around the 2, and so there you have it. Great field position set up for yourself to start. And this offense, yes, it's chewed up a lot of clock. Yes, it only has 7 points on the board, but they have proven they can march the ball downfield.
Oh, exactly, and I think this is one of the keys that I said in the preview show is doing what we do best, and that's getting the ball at the 35-yard line to start the half, and that's great field position for us as we get it on, looks like the right hash mark.
Right hash mark it will be. It's at the 35-yard line to start the opening drive of the third quarter. 12 minutes are on the clock. And Satemba and Caden Lawless will soak up what is the backfield here out of the gate. Zeke Wilson, the tight end, most likely will be in motion. Rather, it's going to come from the top, the 2 receiving options, Matthews and Wade Jones. There's an interception on the first play of the game, jumping the route, a pick 6 out of the gate for the Rams.
And as they stack the 2 receivers right there, I can see that defensive back read that play all the way. I don't think Zane kind of ran that route the way he needed to run that route. He needs to run that route with a little bit of sense of urgency, but also Satemba's got to get that ball either out there a lot quicker. But that's 6 points, and that's another play that Owasso's going to get you on, and it's explosive.
The Mole brothers have all touchdowns in the game. Jason Mole, 2 on the ground. Jalen Mole with the pick 6. And there you have it, Owasso striking out of the gate on the first play from scrimmage in the third. It's 28, pending 29 to 7. And there it is. A disaster of a start, unfortunately, for the Tigers to open up the second half. Just a little bit too late getting the ball out and reading it well. The DB, Jalen Mole, takes it into the end zone.
And look, he just took advantage of the situation right there. I mean, locked in on the receiver. He knew where the ball was going, and he just made an athletic play. He made that's a D1 play right there.
He's a senior, 5'8", 170-pound DB, making an impact in the Patriot Bowl tonight. So we'll start right where we left off with basically what is another opening kickoff. Just 10 seconds have been eliminated from this game. We talked about to take down one of the top 10 teams in the state. It's going to take flawless football on your side. Hope to get a couple of breaks as well. That's not been the case for VA, and now it's going to be a big hole to climb out of.
Well, you got to have the players like we just seen right there. Now, I'm not saying we don't have the players, but right now those players are not making the plays. And they have to make the plays. They can't sit up here and look like a deer in the headlight. I mean, they got to make the plays, and their guys are making them, and we're not right now.
So the kickoff set to happen again. Noah Hill to kick. And he will send it away. Returnable this time for Zane Matthews. He'll drop the football, has to pick it up. It's Caden Lawless to do so instead. Lawless wants to chop on forward. He'll get around the 15-yard line, and so more frustrating field position, at least to open up this next drive. Down 29-7, 11:42 to go in the third.
Well, right now we have to control the mojo right there. Right now, Owasso has their mojo. This is another important drive. I know we keep saying it. It sounds like a broken record, Luke, but this is probably the most important drive to date right now of the season.
You are right with this. Points basically necessary on this drive if you want to have a chance to manage the game well in the fourth. Going down based on how long these drives have taken off of the clock. Lawless on the outside, picks up a lot, and there it is, 9 yards on first.
I think that's Sango right there.
Sango again.
And expect Sango to get a load of the carry right here as he's still in the backfield. So expect Corey Sango to get a little bit of carrying the load right here as they're keeping him into the game.
We're going to request a thinning out of those numbers next year if we can. Sango will have another chance in the backfield here. We'll see if he gets a healthy dose. Sango will pass block instead. Screen pass out wide to the left side. He's going to pick up the first.
Well, I will tell you this much. I think next week, whenever we have our homecoming game, you'll like those uniforms a little bit better.
No doubt, right? Yeah. Sango will stay at the moment. See if Broken Arrow wants to extend the field vertically at this point to try to now what will be almost necessary to score relatively quickly in the ball game as well.
Looks like the Sango came out.
So he will come on out. Personnel changes in a lot of areas here, and now it's finally official, the huddle where they need it to be.
Looks like the Gromoto huddle right here. Little sugar huddle right there.
Satemba will take this one, throw back. Ball is loose. That is a backwards pass. Owasso picks it up, and a fumble recovery. It will be Rams ball.
Looked like they tried to set up a little screen pass right there, screen pass to the outside. Looks like they had two receivers that they had wide open. I know we call that a particular play. We call that the zombie play. Once again, I mean, you have to make the plays. Players make plays. Coaches make the call. Players got to make those plays. Obviously, Blank liked what he's seen. I think it was a right play call. We just have to execute a lot better.
Dropping the football there. Looked to be Preston Carter that might have came into the game to try to make that catch and throw. Of course, you want to get the hands into a quarterback to try to make that pass downfield. It did not work out, and here are the Rams with a chance.
Slant route's open if they want to run it.
Nobody deep in pressure right now. Stepping up, getting towards the goal line, and walking on in. A touchdown, Jaden Hall, his first of the night. Open field tackles missed again, and it is now 2 scores in less than 2 minutes for Owasso.
Well, right now, Luke, I just think it's the want right now. You got to want it. I just understand. I mean, you got to make the play right there. 2 guys coming in on Jaden Hall right there. You got to take him down. I mean, you got to want it. And if you don't want it, then I don't know what to tell you, but you got to want that.
Have not had any turnovers in the game in that regard all night long. The first 2 drives of this second half are turnovers that result in points. We'll take a break. When we do come back, it's a 36-7 game. Broken Arrow will have the ball back again.
Just a reminder, there'll come a time that they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true, right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Frustrations on the opposite side of the booth on the Broken Arrow sideline are certainly appropriate right now. 36-7 as they've given up 2 scores in 1 minute and 50 seconds to open up the third quarter. You're watching Broken Arrow Tiger football on ArrowVision. We are back, and the Tigers will get the ball for the 3rd time in just 1 minute and 50 seconds. Kickoff is shallow and short. Fair catch called for. Drive's going to start at the 28, it looks like.
Well, this is one of those deals right here where, I mean, I think you try to settle your guys down. The game plan that you had coming into the second half is obviously somewhat thrown out the window right now. I think you got to settle your guys down, run the football a little bit more. I expect Corey Sango to probably come in and get a lot of the load of running right now. So it looks like he's back in right now. So expect a dose of Corey Sango in this series.
Corey Sango and Satemba in the backfield. We'll see if they want to calm the seas a bit with a handoff. They'll do so. Sango outside has to bounce away from pressure and will be just shallow of the original line of scrimmage. Might have lost maybe a half yard at worst.
And we got to do a better job of containing those leaks right there. I mean, you got 2 or 3 guys in the backfield by the time Sango gets the football. Offensive line has to do a better job of hooking up.
Lawless back in at running back. Play call finally put over to Satemba. We'll get everybody in motion and position. Dropping back, Satemba wants to flare this one out wide. It is deflected, and was it backwards? That is the question. Doesn't matter, it was tipped here, and incomplete. That's ultimately the call. So 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
It looks like Cowboy got a cramp. That looks like a cramp right there.
Caden Lawless is down on the field right now. Well, 3rd and 10. A lot of screen passes, some runs here as of late. At this point, 36-7. Whether they know it's coming or not, you got to get the ball downfield vertically.
You got to get the ball downfield. I mean, I think Blank and his guys are trying to open the offense up. I think we got to work on some things that will get us successful. Basically, right now, I think it's about pride. Yeah, the score is 36-7. This is how Owasso's been beating teams the last 3 weeks. They do what they do in the first half, but in the second half, boom, they just start blitzing you and they start getting explosive plays once again. But our guys got to have some pride right here and get this game a little bit closer to respectable.
Wallace will come on out. Looks like head coach Josh Blankenship wanting a little bit of an explanation after the play.
Looks like they're talking about it. I mean, I thought from our spotter, it says ball was tipped. So we'll see what they come up with.
So Blankenship is finally going to get a relative explanation. We'll see if we can get more on that explanation later on. But here we are sitting in what is now a 3rd and long. Well long. It looks like the call ultimately was that was a backwards pass, and that was picked up by Lawless for a loss of quite a bit.
And it's been a storyline playing behind the chains in this game, and in order for us to be successful, we cannot be playing behind the chains.
3rd and 23. In a game where you've been outscored 14-0 in the second half so far. Little screen pass to try to get some space out wide. It's going to lose yards, and it's going to be 4th and well long. And the punt unit most certainly going to come out here in just a moment, we would have to think. There it is.
They sniffed that play out right there, Luke. Great pursuit, great penetration by Owasso's defense to sniff that play out to get us a loss on the little screen play to Corey Sango.
Sort of a short field to punt with, as Satemba will be back to do the punting duties. They'll spread it out.
Looks like Bethel's back to receive it.
Kick by Satemba is gotten off well. Past the 40-yard line, starts to curl back and goes out. It'll be at the 41. There is a flag, however. The 41-yard line is where the ball goes out. They let the play finish off, and then a flag here at just the last moment. Will it be on Owasso?
I mean, I'll take it.
Might give a little bit more space.
Block in the back.
Looks like it's an illegal block in the back. So 36-7. Got to find a way to calm your team down a bit, I think, on both sides of the ball. It's not exactly the comeback effort that you thought you might have been able to have out of the gate. And you're managing a 3-0 team, trying to make it much, much more than that.
Well, and that, like I said, and a little bit of that is experience. I mean, we are a young team, but understand this. I mean, dudes got to make plays. I mean, you got dudes out there. Dudes got to make plays.
The turnover battle maybe needs to have that margin cut down just a bit here. Will they find a way to, 1, get off the field, 2, give their offense some better field position back at some point? First down picks up a lot.
Nice little swing out right there. Get him out of bounds right there. Looks like Owasso's probably going to just take their time on this one.
8:28 on the clock. The Rams are going to get over 40 in the ball game. If they can finish off yet another drive, they have yet to punt or lose the football. Every drive so far resulting in 6. And this defense trying to stop that. First down.
And right now, they're just having their way with us right now, Luke. I mean, everything they do, they're just getting multiple big gains on it. like I said, it's just a pride factor right now. And you gotta have the pride. You gotta have Broken Arrow pride if you want this game to be respectable.
Secondary pushed up quite a bit once again. And it looks like it'll be an offside on the Tigers. Dagan McCluskey jumping a bit there on the outside.
Well, antsy right there by Dagan. And that's what happens when you have a blitzing defense like we have. I mean, you want to try to get the jump on the tackle right there. And Dagan just got offside into the neutral zone.
So Drew Frankenfield and his offense will deal with the 1st and 5 now. Taking the snap, Frankenfield wants to hand off. Patient running to the outside, and there is a hold down the sideline along the left. It is a pickup of quite a bit. A flag thrown. Jaden Hall, his run might be coming back here, and it is. It's going to be a hold.
Looked like the right tackle held our outside linebacker right there.
This offensive line, a massive offensive line, a couple of them over 300 pounds on that O-line.
And the thing about it, though, Luke, I mean, they're experienced. I mean, they got a good little mix of young guys in there, but on the 2 deep, your 2 tackles, your left tackles are both seniors. Your guard is a junior. You know, your center's a senior. Your right guard's a junior, and your right tackle is a senior. That's experience right there in the key positions on the offensive line.
And Oklahoma State and University of Arkansas commit. A couple of those guys on the line. Handoff up the middle. Moves forward for a handful, but not quite enough.
And right there, those are little things right there that you can see Holly being a little animated on the sidelines, but those are little things right there that we have to tip our hat on.
Frankenfield, screen pass out wide to Noah. Noah Hill is going to get close to the 25.
And on that little screen pass right there, I like to see our corner. I mean, I know Don Fryer was in a particular coverage right there, but once the quarterback's arms gets flat, I think that our corners just have to trigger that. I mean, we just can't sit there 7-8 yards down the field and just wait for that to come at you. Quarterback's shoulders get flat, trigger, get downhill.
First down and 10. He does get to the 25, in fact, to the 24-yard line on the reach. Frankenfield will have 3 options out wide to the right side. Most likely a screen pass coming up here. It will be so. Screen pass out wide, and everybody read that one. Noah Hill goes down. A fantastic read. And at some point, you go to the well one too many times. This BA team has to recognize they've got to shut down the screen pass. They did that time.
And you got to fight off the blocks. You got to fight off the blocks, and I've used the word trigger. I mean, that's a word as defensive coaches use. I mean, once the shoulders get flat, you got to understand. Get downhill, fight off the block, and you can stop those screen passes.
Noah Hill will come off.
That's a great job by Tyreek right there. Tyreek Taylor on the tackle on that last one as they go trips into the boundary.
We'll see if they want to go to the well again on the screen pass. They'll try to go vertically with this one. A little bit of pressure. Frankenfield has to get out of that, and there's going to be a flag thrown on the tackle.
Face mask. It's a face mask. So, I mean, great play by Josie. He just had his hands up too high right there into the quarterback's helmet area.
Josie Sanders will get called for the illegal tackle.
And that's something you really can't get upset with him for. I mean, he made the play, but like I said, his hands are just a little bit too high in the head area right there. On film, you're going to say great job, but hey, get those hands down, get him away from the face mask area, and you make the play.
So first down. In right communication. Now second down and 9.
This is a big down right here on 2nd and 9.
We do have a timeout. Looks like it was called by Owasso, so they want to talk about it here in a 2nd down and 9. We'll take a break. We'll come back. It's a 36-7 game. You're watching Tiger Football on ArrowVision.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
5 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. It has been all Owasso in this third quarter. In fact, all night long, it's 36-7. As after the timeout, we get a new ball spot. Second down and 9 is what we had before that timeout. Coach Hawley and Coach Blankenship are having a conversation about this spot right now. We'll get the answer. So it's moved a little bit more forward. It's not going to be what we think it's going to be. Much shorter. We'll try to get you that update in just a moment. Frankenfield will drop back. He has space to run. Frankenfield throws instead, and wide open in the back of the end zone. It is caught for another Rams touchdown. This time on the catch and the score, Takari Bethel.
Looks like we had a breakdown in coverage right there as the corner and the safety were kind of talking to each other with their palms up. That's a bad sign when it comes to DBs, palms up. We were probably in a kick coverage right there if the safety was looking at the corner as the corner was inside. But he was wide open in that back corner in the end zone.
Looks like we have an injured Tiger. Not sure who it is as of right now. Josie Sanders is what it looks to be. Josie Sanders in a lot of pain as of right now. We'll take a break. We'll come back after the injury timeout. It's a 42-7 game. Extra point coming up in just a moment. 5:31 to go. Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Uh-oh, can't find your debit card? Don't worry, because with TTCU, you're always in control of your card. Just lock and unlock it from your phone. Card controls from TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Tulsa Bone and Joint, Northeast Oklahoma's sports medicine experts. We are pleased to help you and the athletes in your life with a number of surgical and non-surgical options. Tulsa Bone and Joint is proud to serve as team orthopedist for local high schools such as Broken Arrow, Owasso, Sapulpa, Cascia Hall, and Bishop Kelly. We're also proud to be team orthopedist for FC Tulsa. Tulsa Bone and Joint, moving life forward.
Welcome back to Tiger football on ArrowVision. Not only Coach Hawley, but also Coach Blankenship walking alongside Josie Sanders as he is helped off the field. Most likely his night done, but still under his own power to a small extent. A tough kid for sure, but he will be done for the time being as he's helped officially at the sideline, and we're an extra point away from a 43-7 game as of right now. The Tigers have had their opportunities, 3 possessions in this half alone, and they've come up short on all of those. 2 turnovers, including a pick 6, and points off of both of those turnovers ultimately for Owasso, and they finish off a pure drive after the punt with another touchdown as well. Every drive has been into the end zone offensively tonight for Owasso, and it's the complete opposite other than one for Broken Arrow. That's the difference. Have to play perfect football in a sense against a team like the Rams, and they haven't.
I mean, you're number 1 team in the state. I mean, you know just as well as I know, Luke. I mean, if you're number 1 team in the state, number 1 team in the nation in college football, number 1 team in NFL, you have to play flawless football in order to beat a championship team. So, and looking at the replay of that last play, yes, that was busted coverage. It looked like there was miscommunication between the corner and the safety. Trying to come over the top as he thought he was supposed to be underneath, and the safety was supposed to come over the top. But needless to say, a program like Owasso, with the experience they have, they're going to take advantage of it, and they're going to make you pay.
Ball at the 40 and ready for the kickoff. It's sent away. Shallow kick. Going to be another fair catch. And it is caught to settle things down for the time being. And we'll get a new drive started.
Well, I think what we do now is
5:31 left here in the third quarter.
I think what we do now is just I'm not saying keep it vanilla, but let's work on some things right here. As Corey's coming back in, I think this is one of those deals where you just ride the freshman right now. I mean, see what he can do, see what he can do in a type of environment like this. You brought him up for a reason, so let's just see what the freshman can do.
Corey Sango is in at running back. We'll see if he gets more action. Handoff to Sango. He steps on up, and Sango is going to pick up at least 6, it would look like, on first down.
He's going to run hard. I mean, if he has the room, he's going to run hard. So I like once again we're going back to tempo right here.
We're going to give him credit for 5 yards and a ton of chaos and a ton of flags being thrown, as that was a little bit of a glitch on the offensive line. False start's going to march it back, and it's 2nd and 10 as if nothing happened on first down.
Playing behind the chains, that's been prevalent tonight, and I think that's something our offensive coaches will point out come Saturday and Sunday. In order for us to be successful going into next week, we can't continue to play behind the chains in a game like this.
Castillo comes in at running back. See if Satemba wants to get rid of the ball deep. Motion at the top. Satemba drops back, looks to throw. He'll do so, stretches the field down deep, and it's an easy interception. There is a flag down, however, this is near the sideline. And running this one all the way potentially back to the house, it's the Rams. They're in the end zone for the time being. Langendorfer is the one that gets the pick and the interception and the touchdown. For right now, we have a potential pick 6 again, but this flag might bring everything back and settle down the seas a bit.
Well, we got multiple flags. This one referee has his hat off, so I'd like to see what's going on.
There's a lot to discuss. That's why all 4 of our officials are in that discussion right now. So, this could be majority on Owasso right now, is at least what the body language would say, but we'll let the voice do the talking. Looks like a block in the back on the defense. So, an interception official, but not getting into the end zone due to the block might be the case here. That was my interpretation. We'll see if that's accurate. So at the 50-yard line, the drive will start. So yes, it is an interception for Owasso. A block in the back during the sequence is going to bring that touchdown back, and they'll start their drive at midfield. The
penalty happened after change of possession, so that's why Owasso gets to keep the ball right here. So, I mean, it's just one of those deals right here once again, Luke. I mean, I'm going to say it again. It's pride. How are we going to respond to adversity right now and stopping them?
Snap here and quick screen pass out wide to Noah Hill. He's got the catch and just helping out at the last moment. 7-on-7 violence there on the tackles, Dagan McCluskey.
And that's the thing about it. I mean, on plays like that, when they run a quick game, like we always talk about, I mean, you get 2 yards on that. I mean, if you can continue to do that, you put them in a situation where it's 3rd down, and I think that's what Broken Arrow's missing tonight.
3 turnovers in the second half out of 4 drives so far offensively for Broken Arrow has set up Owasso not having to have taken a snap really on their side of the field so far. Run is easy for a first down. Down the sideline now is Hall. And Hall is brought down inside the 20.
Well, not only do we have bad angles right there, but we also got guys arm tackling, over pursuing, not putting the dot on the hip to make the play. Just wonder what's going through these guys' heads, as I hope they're not checked out.
Looks like we do have another timeout due to a cramp or injury at the moment. Looks like down on the field right now is Gabe Manning. Hasn't gone down tonight yet, until now. And a few bodies dropping on the Broken Arrow side of things as of late. This defense has been out on the field quite a bit here in this half for sure.
Yes, and I mean, even though it's fall time out here in Oklahoma, you still have these unseasonably warm temperatures, and you still have to hydrate yourself. You still got to take care of your body the way you take care of it. I think we got another one. Down low, it just looks like one. They're just in the huddle right there. So, yeah, I mean, you got to continue to take care of your body. A lot of people always say, sometimes as the season goes along, a lot of kids and the weather gets a little bit cooler, a lot of kids tend to not take care of the body the way they take care of the body in the spring and the summer. But we always talk about it, hydration is key, and I think hydration is more towards the fall time anyway.
It is by committee for sure tonight, especially with the score line we see right now. I think head coach Josh Blankenship's going to see what he's got in his depth. He's going to see who wants to battle for some positions after a night, and not just after a night like tonight, but during tonight.
Well, to me, I've always said this. I mean, it's about the logo. I mean, it's across your chest. It's on your helmet. You know, how much pride do you have in the logo? I mean, we pride ourselves in not giving up, but what do you have pride in when it comes to our logo? And another thing is this. I mean, 3 turnovers, a 22-7 ball game coming into the second half turns into a 43-7 ball game, and they're turnovers that we're uncharacteristic of making. So I think our guys just got to understand that, you know, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep bringing lightsaber and keep fighting.
The Tigers have actually had negative passing yards so far in the second half. They entered the half at 114 of those. They're at 108 right now. Here's Owasso with the ball, 1st and 10. Lincoln Field. Rolls a man, and he's touched underneath the catch. It is the catch, and getting in the end zone is Drew. 49-7, and an extra point away from hanging half 100 here.
I mean, on action, he just ran away from the side to the near pylon, and that's 6 points on the board.
49-7, and they'll line up for the extra point. 4 touchdowns in the half so far for Owasso. A 22-7 scoreline entering the third quarter. And this is blocked, so a little bit of an extra juice at the end for the BA defense. 49-7 will head to break. 3:28 to go in the third. You're watching Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there'll come a time that they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true, right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
Quite the atmosphere tonight in Owasso as the home crowd certainly enjoying the festivities. A 49-7 lead for the Rams over the Tigers as we rejoin action here on ArrowVision. The Tigers will get the ball back again. Have yet to get to midfield offensively in this half as of right now. And this ball is just punched out quickly at the last moment by Johnson. Or rather, that being number 24, not 34, Parker Melton.
I mean, that's unique. I mean, that's actually smart right there. I mean, just, you know, they're barreling down on you. I mean, you're close to the sidelines. You go ahead and bat it out of the sideline, bat it out of bounds. I mean, it's not a penalty.
Right.
Yeah, it's like in volleyball. I mean, it's just go ahead and make that play and get the ball out of bounds.
3:28 to go in the third quarter. The Rams have used 1 timeout so far, 3 still in the pocket of the Tigers. Go ahead.
Well, it's something that we talked about off air at the last commercial break. I mean, is it one of those deals where you bring Agent Zero in the fourth quarter, and I think you don't?
This might be a game to go ahead and let him stay fresh for next week.
Yeah.
Keep him ready and, well, take away the opportunity or risk for injury in what is a game where it's well out of reach.
Yes.
First down picks up 3 yards on the ground. 2nd and 7. Satemba trying to overcome what is a 2-interception night for himself and respond on this drive. Satemba quickly gets the ball out. Tayshawn Jones-Wade will pick up the catch and get close to the 40-yard line.
One thing I can tell you about these defensive backs, as they're coached very well. I'm not saying our guys are not coached very well, but I mean, these guys, they just played with emotion tonight. They played with discipline. They tackled well tonight. They wrapped up. They did everything you're supposed to do as a DB when the ball's in the open field.
40-yard line, 3rd down and shallow. Just 3rd and 1 to go. Direct snap and just moving early. It would probably be on Satemba right there, and a late shove sends another flag. And now the wheels coming off the bus a bit right now for this Tiger offense. In the second half in particular, it's just been a disaster.
So it looks like the first call was going to be a little false start, but second call might be a little unsportsmanlike.
So it is a false start, 5 yards and a personal foul, another tacked on penalty. And we talked about in the first half, 36 yards of penalties for Broken Arrow to 31 for Owasso. Really wasn't enough to say that either team's really making a difference in the penalty department. Certainly been the case here in the second half now, as that number has separated quite a bit.
And don't be surprised, I think that personal foul was on Carter Archer, as I'm looking towards the sideline right now. As looked like Pruitt took him out. Replaced him, but I think that personal foul was on Carter Archer.
Third down and 19. Throw out wide on the screen pass is caught and won't get anything. So 4th down upcoming. 3rd down and 21 was the official readjusted marker there. 84 yards of penalties for the Tigers compared to 61 for Owasso. As we'll send it down to Madison for an injury update here late in our 3rd quarter.
Yeah, guys, Josie Sanders just exited the medical tent. He is on crutches, and he's got some ice wrapped around his right knee. Looks like he's heading towards the locker room.
Looks like Josie Sanders' night is done, and we'll, of course, see what he looks like going into next week.
Got to cover.
As it is Bethel to move on forward into plus territory again. With that punt return, Mo, they have not taken a snap offensively in their own territory in this second half, and that's a problem.
No, that's a big-time problem. And, you know, you winning football, you can't have you guys, you can't have your opponents taking snaps on the plus side of the field. You always want to keep your guys, your opponents on the negative side of the field, keep it in their territory. Winning football is not, winning defensive football is not where you want them snapping the football on the plus side of the territory.
So no more Josie Sanders tonight. Again, like we mentioned, we'll see what he looks like going into this week's work, as well as getting ready for his homecoming next week against the UConn. Of course, make sure you're at that one. It's going to be good to be back in the friendly confines and get another home game underneath the belt against UConn 1 week from today. Those beautiful homecoming uniforms will be on display. Great shutdown on 1st down by this BA defensive front.
And that's what we need more. I mean, as we're going into the 4th quarter here, we're probably going to see a lot of your 2s and 3s coming to this game. A lot of JV guys probably going to get a lot of action. So
Gunnar Wilson on the majority of that effort. Taking their time with the play clock, of course, is Owasso. They're going to milk it out as much as they can tonight. 45-yard line, the ball sits. They need to get to the 34, 2nd and 11. Handoff, here's Mole. As he will work closer to the 40 at the 41.5-yard line. 3rd down.
And it's a little evident right now. I mean, Owasso just trying to run the clock out going into the 4th quarter. Like I said before, this is something I'd like to see our guys show a little bit of pride in. See if we can hold them at least the same score going into the 4th quarter end of the game.
3rd down and 8. We'll see if they go ahead and let the clock milk all the way down and get the quarter over with. That looks to be the case. So they'll go to the line, see if they can't get BA to jump offside. Never mind, they'll go ahead and go for the play. They want to go deep with it. Will they have it? Never mind, it's intercepted. The Tigers in the secondary get the pick, and getting a little bit greedy are the Rams late in the third quarter, and they throw the interception.
Well, I can tell you right now, it looked like I think we were in Raven defense. I think Tayshawn came in. He was already lined up a little bit back. They tried to get a little greedy right there. But a great play by Tayshawn, great call by our defense right there, and we get the pick and going into the fourth quarter, 12 minutes left in this game.
We'll head to the fourth, 12 minutes on the clock, as you mentioned, 49-7. BA's got the ball back. We'll come back on Tiger Football and ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there'll come a time that they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true, right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Craving delicious tenders or crispy fried chicken? Hit the Waldo's drive-thru, open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated in Broken Arrow, 71st and Yale, and coming soon to Owasso. Waldo's makes lunch and dinner a breeze. Waldo's Chicken, fast, fresh, delicious.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Deep in their own territory, the Tigers will take back over to start the fourth quarter, down by quite a bit here, down by 42 as they get the ball back via the interception. Looks like on the carry to open up this half. It looks like Roberson is in the game. So to start the fourth quarter, after the three-quarter suspension, Roberson is going to get some snaps in this game. And at this point, they're just going to maybe see if he can't carry the football for a few.
Well, I can tell you right now, I mean, looking on the flip side of it, he has had a couple weeks off, so why not get his legs going for UConn next week?
Tune-up for UConn is sort of the approach that we see out of Blankenship and putting in his sophomore starting running back. Talking to him this week, he had mentioned that really he sees Lawless, Castillo, and Roberson as all number one guys in different ways.
Yes.
So you do have a true number one three-guy rotation, and Roberson's a part of that, and he's going to go ahead and go to the well with him to see if he can't get him loose and ready for UConn next week.
Well, it changes your game plan when you don't have him in for three quarters, and, you know, you can look hindsight and think, hey, well, how would this game have been if we had our guy in for a full? So, but I mean, you know, we got to learn from our mistakes, but, I mean, this is a chance for Roberson to come in and get some carries and be ready to get back into the lineup and homecoming next week.
Zane Matthews on the first down catch. Satemba and this offense taking their time a bit. Plenty of time on the play clock. Taking the snap, Satemba throws out wide, popping off of the hands of Tayshawn Jones-Wade. Might have gotten away even with a little bit of movement on the line early. And so the Tigers will see 2nd and 10.
Just one of those deals once again. I mean, he had to move. He's seen what he's seen. He had a crease. I think he got a little bit too anxious. You got to catch the football first. Obviously, that's fundamental right there. And if he catches that, he's probably still running for a touchdown right now. But you got to make the play right there.
Satemba hands off to Roberson. He's brought down and stays on his feet, in fact, rather, until the last moment. There is a man down as of right now.
Looks like Carter Archer's down right there.
Carter Archer, indeed. Down on the field for the time being. Might have gotten rolled up on a bit. So it'll be 3rd down and a lot to go, 3rd and 11.
It could be another cramp. I mean, but I just hope this game is not one of those games where it's a mass unit game. Looks like he's up walking off, so it probably could be a cramp right there, guys.
Getting up, thankfully, under his own power as well. Nobody helping Mr. Archer. 10:08 to go in the game as of right now. Frustrating out of the gate here in the second half for BA tonight, that being the biggest difference. You look at the score line, 8-0 after one, manageable. In fact, you only got the football one time in the first quarter, didn't get points out of it. We mentioned that they were down to the 1 yard line in that scenario, and if you get points out of that, maybe it's a different ball game later on, butterfly effect. 14-7 was the score differential in the second quarter in favor of Owasso. You're only down by 2 scores. Yeah, that's a lot against Owasso, but you had to come out in that third quarter looking different. 27-0 was the score line in the third quarter to make it 49-7. We see now just a totally different second half.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, that's just the pedigree of this program right now. They're going to do what they do in the third quarter and try to just run away from you in the second half, and they've been doing that the last 3 games going into this game, and it's held fair right now.
Close call at getting what he needs to pick up the first.
Looks like we got the generous spot right there, as we might have somebody down. Yeah, we got somebody down on the sidelines, on the far sideline.
Timeout for an injured player. We'll take it just as well. We'll be right back. Tigers with the ball, close to the first down, if not picking it up. We'll get that information when we come back on ArrowVision.
Racing towards the end of the month? Ask about our early pay options. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance. Uh-oh, can't find your debit card? Don't worry, because with TTCU, you're always in control of your card. Just lock and unlock it from your phone. Card controls from TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
While you are teaching someone special the nuances of keeping the wheel steady, we can provide you means for you to maintain financial equilibrium. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Welcome back. Tayshawn Jones-Wade was the man down for the Tigers along the sideline. Our injury timeout occurring because of that. He's up and off the field now. So, coming back in, 49-7 the game right now. Clock is rolling again, 9:36 on that clock here in the fourth.
Looks like we still got Agent Zero in the game.
Roberson chopping his feet up the middle, few yards.
Well, they're playing with a lot of confidence right now, so also that's expected of what they do. So, I mean, as they got a lot of their 2s and 3s in right now, which respectively we probably will here pretty soon. But as Deshaun Jordan comes in at the slot right here at the bottom of the screen, along with Zane, at receiver, Tayshaun back into the game at the top.
Satemba having to run it with his legs. He'll do so. He'll slide down, and a flag easily going to be thrown as Satemba's hit from the backside while sliding. That almost you can consider a little bit more dangerous than being hit from the front side.
Yeah, and it's one of those deals where a lot of people are going to be like, you know, the score is where it's at, so why is our number 1 guy in? But I can tell you right now, I mean, Satemba is a tough guy, but he's still young in his starts. So this is something that I like to see him kind of navigate his team through. As he is a leader as his program.
Responsibility on the quarterback for most of the offense at the end of the night. And the papers on the television, Satemba will take that responsibility, knowing him a very even-keeled. Coach Blankenship talks about how he's a low heart rate quarterback. Nothing really phases him too much, too quickly. And that's what he brings to the table here right now. In an unfortunate scenario for him and his team.
Well, once he gets some more starts underneath his belt, I think we'll see him grow a lot more.
Satemba drops back. Screen pass out wide to Roberson. Has space. Roberson will get upfield. And he's near the first down marker on first down. It's second and short.
So, and that's what
you're
missing when you got a guy like Octavian. You can run plays like that. I mean, you can run plays like that with Castillo, Cowboy, and also Corey Sanger, but this kid right here, you run a play like that with him, he's going to get an open and make some things happen.
Snap, Satemba handoff. Roberson ahead, and another big run.
Great patience by Octavian on that one right there.
And Mo, it's late in the game here right now. There is a worn-down defense regardless of what they've been able to do tonight. Roberson's taking advantage of that, yes, but it'd be interesting to go back and see Roberson play a full 4 quarters.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I mean, I think that's the key to the game as we have a flag on the field. Might have 12 on the field for Owasso as a guy came running off late. But, yes, I mean, as he had showed patience on that last play before this one, last little stutter step before he gets into the hole. But, yes, I mean, you play a full 4 quarters in Octavian, give him a dose of Castillo, give him a dose of Cowboy. I think this is a totally different ball game.
It'll be on to the next week to try to pick up the first district win. This one being out of reach, but still a chance to get the last laugh or two. With 7:34 on the clock.
Well, it's a confidence deal. I mean, I think, you know, you run these plays, you try to score, get the ball in the end zone, end on a positive note. Let you guys know when you go in and watch film tomorrow, you show this drive and tell you guys, hey, we got UConn next week and we know we can get done.
Looks like they're getting the chain set up properly here on 1st and 10. After 1st and 10, that was. So 2nd down upcoming is what we would have expected, but handoff to Roberson. He's on ahead. And he'll push for the first.
I mean, that's a great job by Roberson right there. Great vision, great way of slicing through the line. I mean, that's what we've been missing. Once again, like I say, I mean, that's what we've been missing in this game. And going back to Mustang, I will tell you, it's just, I'll say it again, it was just selfish by him, and it put us in a situation, our first district game, to be where we are right now.
7:20 and counting to go in regulation tonight. Satemba threatening inside the 10 for the first time in the 2nd half. Bouncing off of a tackle. It's Roberson to kick on ahead. He's inside the 5. Second down and goal.
And I think we still got our starting offensive line in, which is also a great thing because they are kind of young. Obviously, Ricky's going to be the senior of the bunch, but I mean it's something that these guys need to experience. I mean, Blank always talks about getting the experience in a varsity game, so this is experience you want to get right here.
Handoff again, and the run is shut down.
Yeah, that's just something that I mean, the offensive line just has to do a better job of hooking up right there.
Loss of yardage on the play.
3rd and goal, certainly 4-down territory for the Tigers. You can still play a little bit conservative if needed on this 3rd down.
I think this is 4-down territory, Luke. I don't think you look for a field goal. I think you look for 6 regardless.
Handoff, Roberson has space outside, and he's going to walk into the end zone, a touchdown. The Tigers do get one here in the 4th quarter, and it is Octavian Roberson who enters the game in the 4th quarter to get that.
That's just what Agent Dior does best on the outside zone play right there, making his way to the outside, cutting it back up a little bit, get to the 2nd level. He's in for the score. Once again, Luke, that's just what we've been missing in this game. And on the bright side, it's nice stuff to look at on film to let the guys know that if we're fully loaded, we can make a difference in this game.
49-13. Flags are thrown before we even get anything going. It looks like a false start on the offense, so troubles with false starts all night long. Continue to pile up.
Well, yeah, I mean, once again, it's the penalties. And we talked about that in the Mustang game. We just have to understand that, you know, you got to hold your water, guys. Can't be so anxious. You got to understand what the snap count is and execute.
kick is up and good, no problem. 49-14. We'll go to break. We'll come back. 5:49 to go in regulation. We'll be back for more Tiger football on ArrowVision.
Just a reminder, there'll come a time that they can no longer share a bedroom. That's why we have a complete array of home loans, so that dream of more space can come true, right on time. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
There is nothing like teaching about the rewards in life, like catching that first big fish. Now they can learn about other rewards by opening up my first savings account just for them. First National Bank of Broken Arrow. First people put people first.
Broken Arrow football on ArrowVision. Also, I want to thank our One Club sponsors, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, TTCU Federal Credit Union, Tulsa Bone and Joint, St. Francis, as well as Ascension, St. John, Quick Trip Shields, BAPS Foundation, and the Arrow Group just as well. An update, Jenks up 7-2, or rather, sorry, 21-7. Didn't see that score quite enough here tonight. Westmore and UConn in a battle. 31-21 is the final. Ultimately, Westmore picking up that win, and the kickoff is underway. Bobbled a little bit here by Owasso, but they do fall on the football just inside their own 35. So first snap offensively of the day for Owasso in their own territory in the second half, I believe, is upcoming.
It's like we got a Union up on Santa Fe, 26-14. Little district scores right there for upcoming opponents that we have to take care of in order to make the playoffs.
49-14. Broken Arrow winning the fourth quarter right now. 7-0 outscoring Owasso in that regard. Just had an unfortunate 27-0 deficit in the third quarter that led to the rout, in a sense.
Well, let's look like this. Looks like they got their backup quarterback. We got football on play.
Ball is loose, and the ball is out and into the hands of the Rams at the last moment. Goodness, second and long.
We got a nice little mix of guys in right now for our squad. Looks like they looks like Cole's still in. I mean, I understand that he is a senior. Dagan's still in, but looks like Keaton Johnson's playing corner. Tyreek Taylor over here playing safety. Owasso got some of their 2s and 3s in. So just one of those games with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Let's just get out of this without any more damage.
At the 31. 2nd and 13. Handoff, wide right side, and an easy tackle there to wrap things up.
One thing I can say, I mean, on any play, it doesn't matter what score is, Holly will still be over there animated.
3rd down and long, 14 yards left again. Quarterback right now in the game, number 14, no last name on the jersey. What we do have on the depth chart is another sophomore, Joey Grable. So might have been a jersey situation with him prior to our knowledge. Handoff is in there for no gain once again. And it'll be 4th down and well long.
Lamont Cole on the tackle. Or Cole Lamont, my bad. Cole Lamont on the tackle.
So the first punt of the night for Owasso. First team is no longer in action for the evening for the Rams. And this will give the Tigers the ball back.
And this is one of the things that I think we, the game plan was to make them either try to drive the field and make them punt. Yeah. Tayshawn back to receive the punt right here.
Pressure on the punt. It's going to get away. And it's going to bounce and be down on a solid lucky kick. 31-yard line, the drive will start.
It's that home field advantage on the bounce right there.
On the bounce.
So, you know, looking forward to next week. I know 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the half. Obviously, we get to get back home to the friendly confines of Tiger Field. We get UConn on the matchup.
Yeah, experiencing homecoming, right? I mean, talk about homecoming for you. I mean, you've experienced a ton of these. You've had an opportunity, one, to be on the field during them, but two, to experience what it's actually all about, and that's coming back to your alma mater.
You're coming back to your alma mater. So anybody out there listening to us, just come back, watch us, keep supporting us, and we'll take care of business next week.
Change at quarterback here to round out the evening. It's going to be coming in, number 3, Jack Gardner, the backup quarterback, it looks like.
It looks like we got Roberson still carrying the football. Once again, like on the flip side, I mean, I kind of do understand Roberson coming into the game. I mean, I think that's something that probably the offensive staff talked about, that he would probably get the load in the fourth quarter. Still got our a lot of our number one linemen in the game still right now.
Jack Gardner and Octavian Roberson are in the backfield, 2 sophomores.
Yes.
Gardner's 6'1", 170 pounds, getting his first action of the year here on the road.
Well,
handoff up the middle, a ton of space for Roberson to work. Roberson's got the edge. There he goes down the right sideline, 20, down to the 10, and he's got it. A touchdown.
Just shows you what we've been missing. Great run by Octavian right there. Catches the edge, shows the speed. That's one of the fastest kids in state. Scores the points. Gets 6 on the board. Looking to make it 49-21 right here.
Octavian Roberson's second rushing score of the night, and all of his work has been done in the fourth quarter by itself. Extra point. Up and good.
And with that run, Luke, looks like we've overtaken Owasso on the rush yards category.
Looks like it.
We are 204 to 146. I mean, that just shows you the bang for the buck when it comes to Octavian, what we have in that kid. And it shows you how important he is, not only to this program, but to the overall community coming in and doing what he does. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that he's having success tonight, but at the expense of what's going on tonight. I think that's something we need to look back on and understand the learning experience that he has to go through.
Of course, what ultimately matters, district record. You're unfortunately at this point going to be 0-1 to start district, but you do get a chance to bounce back next week against UConn. And there's a lot of matchups in there that a lot of people maybe on paper will look at as a coin toss, but you have a chance to control the game early, and you still got plenty of home games when it comes to district on the slate.
I mean, you still control your own destiny. I mean, yeah, and you always talk about, like I said, the first 3 games is non-district, so that's the first season. But you get 7 games to put yourself in position. You got district points. You want to get those points for district standings. But we still got 6 more games in the district. Season's not over, but it's just one of those games that if you go 1-0 in a district, you put yourself in a position to have that first-round playoff bye.
Fair catch on the short kick. It'll give the Rams the ball just shy of their own 40.
And I want a lot of people to understand out there that are either watching or listening to us, we still, one game is not one game. I mean, it is 0-1 in the district, but you have a chance to bounce back next week, put yourself in a position to win the ball games that you need to win to either get a number 2 spot. So the top 2 teams in the district get a first-round bye. So we're still in the run right there. Season's long. The season is still long, Luke.
So here comes the Rams, second offensive unit in. Handoff left side, doesn't get anything.
And one thing I like about it, whether it's a blowout game like we're currently experiencing right now, or whether we're blowing somebody out, you get to see the kids that are young, see what you got not only coming up, but see what they can do in a situation like this. Those are the kids that have been itching to get into a varsity game. I mean, even though the score, it is what it is. I mean, you get to play underneath the lights on a Friday night, get the experience. So when it does come down to your number being called, you're not too nervous.
35, now 36-yard line. 2nd and 11. Snap and another handoff. Pile is continuing to being pushed, and It'll be about 6 yards to go. 3rd down.
Continue to play hard. I mean, I'm watching Dagan McCluskey right here. I mean, he's like a kamikaze guy right there. He just came right in and blew it up. But now I think he's coming off the field. I think his day is done with 1:16 left in the 4th quarter.
One more handoff. It's going to be a 1st down for Owasso, so that should do it. It'll be victory formation, and the Rams will get out of here with a 49-21 win. Of course, looking at it, still 3 timeouts in the pocket of the Tigers, but not going to be enough to really stop anything here from happening.
Well, and also look, like I said, I mean, you get 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter from Octavian. Just shows you what we were missing the first 3 quarters of this ball game. Anxious to see how we bounce back next week and what we do to put ourselves in a position to fight for 2nd place in this district if Owasso continues to do what they do.
That does it for tonight. Advancing to 4-0 are the Owasso Rams. 1-3 on the campaign are the Tigers. Ultimately, district-wise, 0-1 for the Tigers. That's what's going to matter down the stretch as the clock will tick down to 0. So 49-21 loss tonight for the Tigers. I think really the story in a quick pregame show here is let's just go ahead and skip right to the start of the 2nd half. That was the difference, and it was just unfortunately a lot of mishaps on the offensive side of the ball that let this game get away.
An explosion of turnovers. And that you can't do that against a squad like Owasso. You have to go out and play. Like I said, we've said it all along in this game tonight. It's got to be flawless football, and you can't allow them to have the gifts that you've given them because those are the type of gifts that will produce the ball game that showed up tonight.
A little bit of a different game in the first half in the sense that we wrapped up 1 quarter after just 2 possessions in the game in total, 1 for each team. It was 8-0 to start. Then the 2nd quarter was very similar. A lot of dragged out drives. Nobody really finding a way to stop anybody on 3rd down throughout the evening. And you just missed on that opening drive offensively of getting points that might have made it a little bit more manageable to start the 3rd quarter, and maybe you have a different approach altogether.
That's one thing. I mean, you as a coach, you look at that first drive. I mean, I had a situation last night with our team down there in the 9th grade level that you don't want to look at that play, or you don't want to look at that drive in the first part of the game because it'll just upset you. So it's a learning experience. It's something that not only do you talk to your team about, but you let those offensive linemen know and that offense know that if we continue to be successful, we're knocking on the door. We got to knock the door down because it's a totally different ball game if we score right there in the first possession.
49-21 tonight. Looking at some individual numbers, Jeremiah Satemba at the QB position, 19 for 25, 144 yards through the air, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions thrown. That is through the air, of course, at least. That's 76% completion percentage tonight on the ground. Satemba had 15 yards, 1 rushing touchdown this evening, his longest being that 12-yard run into the end zone, leading in the offensive category of rushing yards. Just 1 quarter of work to do it. 107 yards on the ground for Roberson on just 12 attempts. He averaged basically 9 yards a carry. And, well, whether it was in the first quarter or the 4th quarter, I think you're bringing a lot different of a ball game to the table if he plays all day.
Yes, and, I mean, looking at the total yards, I mean, looking at those stats, like you said, Luke, I mean, if you were just to show the stats to somebody, they would probably tell you this is a lot closer. But obviously the score indicates that it wasn't. You take away that 3rd quarter, it shows it's a different ball game also. But, I mean, it's a learning experience for this program that Blankenship is building. I mean, people got to understand that Owasso is a very experienced team. They've been to the state finals. They've been to the semifinals. They're used to being there. Blankenship is trying to get done here in Broken Arrow. It's understand that, hey, we're going to get there. Once we get there, we're going to stay there. So I think it's just back to the drawing board. Win or lose, you always want to move forward. I think this is one of those games that you go in the locker room, you tell them, hey, guys, we got to move forward. We got homecoming next week. A lot of festivities. I'll tell you right now, as a student athlete, you're going to be busy a lot with homecoming parades, all these homecoming festivities. So see how we respond next week with an activity-filled homecoming week.
Tayshawn Jones-Wade just shy of 100 yards. He led the team with 92 in the receiving department as well. 49-21. That finishes it up from us here tonight. It is next week at home, 7 o'clock for homecoming against UConn. Of course, make sure you get your tickets for that one. If not, we will be on ArrowVision as well, getting our pregame show started. Of course, for myself, Luke Hamilton, Mo Wallace here in the booth, Madison Dildine downstairs, Blake Antonio and our student crew, and our director, Greg Spencer. We thank you for joining us tonight for this edition of Tiger Football on ArrowVision. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week at home against UConn.